kushoda bani? Kushoda ini? Katlehong, Duduza. Bakhona abasazayo. Jabulo. Where's Jabulo? Bakhona abasazayo. Konje which one? Bakhona ababuya eKatlehong. Bakuphi? Ababuya eJimisini. Ababuya eTembisa. Wow, uceleni nalodwa la. Ababuya kwaThema. Abakafiki. Ababuya la eBoksburg. Wow. Ngicela ukuthi silinde kancane ne. I think 5 minutes or so because uMC sekafikile naye. So let's see ukuthi kusashoda amakhumbi amangaphi, then we can start. Ngiyabonga. Okay, bathi kusele 5 taxis that are on the way. Sizabalinda ngithi. Okay, ngiyabonga. Chief of Staff uphi ubaba Socks. Where is the Chief of Staff? Sanibonani futhi sisalinde amateksi ayi-2 from Jimiston A1 eKatlehong A1 ePhumula. So bengifuna ucheck ukuthi baninikezile lezinto lezi. Did they give you this? Can you please indicate by show of hands so that they can be able to give you, so that you can get information in the language of your preference? Ngobani abafunayo? Phakamisani izandla. Okay, as you are putting up your hands, HOD. La rasa man. Abafuna English. One on this one, ne? Abafuna isiTswana Sipedi, it's 3. Abafuna isiXhosa isiZulu, number 2. Africans, it's number 4. Shivenda, Shichonga, number 5. Nifuna ngiphinde futhi. But you can test them. Ne? Ufuna ngiphinde? Okay, uzoyibhala ngelanguage yakho oyithandayo. I-English number 1. isiTswana Sipedi number 3. isiZulu isiXhosa number 2. Africans number 4. Chivenda Chichonga number 5. So mawuthola lento le khona la uzo pressa khona, then we yenza until ithole i-channel ewifunayo, ne? So if we can sort out that before we start our meeting, I will just have to get indication. Lekumbi eqeda kufika manje. Kana ke ma? Pamela. Lekumbi eqeda kufika manje sebefikile. Bangeni. Is Councillor Maria's divorce in the meeting? Councillor Maria's divorce. Is Councillor in the meeting? Ayona. Sanibonani futhi. Sanibonani. Dumelani. Whilst we are still waiting for other people, i-Gauteng EMS bathi bangaphandle bazos-assista ngokutransporta abantu, ukutreata abantu, and ukutransporta abantu to the nearest hospital if you can have an incident, and then checking of vital signs. So if you feel like ngathi le budget ka MEC ikuphathisa ikhanda or uyenza ukuthi ube dizzy, uzophuma nje kancane uthulile uhambe uyocheck ukuthi high blood yakho ayinyukanga na or what. But it does happen. Singahleka sicabanga ukuthi joke. When we were in Mogale MEC, if you remember well, there's somebody who just collapsed, and because we invited the department, they were able to check that patient and then refer accordingly. So if you feel somehow or you still want to check maybe something, hypertension or sugar or any other vital signs that is important, they are outside. So bengithi ngidlulise lokho so that when we start with the meeting, we just proceed. Yabo. Good morning. Good morning, Sanibonani. Bengisalinde ukuthi nithole ama-interpreters, bazibiza gadget. So as I checked, I think everyone or almost everyone did receive. So ngizocela nje ukuthula kancane so that siqale i-meeting yethu bantu abadala. Ngicela ukuthula.
For security.
Bobaba bama security. Mafuko security. Sicela ukuthula. Is the councillor here? Not yet. Okay, let me take this opportunity to welcome honorable members in the meeting today and our MEC and the senior officials of the Department of Human Settlement. Members, can I get your attention? And to give a special welcome to the newly appointed HOD, I'm going to ask Uguti, she must just stand up so that we can give a proper welcome. HOD. Wayema wadula ka fase ka pele sheba batho. Le batlo mmona kire. Nifuna ukumbona. HOD, MEC, your HOD, we are shesh. And a special welcome to our stakeholders. And we were also expecting the ward councillor, but I'm told the ward councillor is not yet here. So, bantu abadala, I'm going to read a declaration and declare, sisi uyasitistep lapho. And declare this civic center as a precinct of the Gauteng legislature. Angithi niyazi ukuthi ni visit legislature. So mangiceda kufunda la, it means iparliament le yase Gauteng ehleli la. So we are going to respect each other. When you want to speak, you'll put your hand up so that you can be recognized. And when you speak, there's not going to be any howling and any other behavior that might not be in line with the rules of the legislature. So the declaration will go as follows. I, Nomathemba Mokgethi, the chairperson of Human Settlement Portfolio Committee, declares Boksburg Civic Center Hall in Ekurhuleni City as a precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature in terms of Rule 5(6) subsection 2 of the standing rules. But there's a lot of noise there. Jackie, please go and intervene. In terms of Rule 56 subsection 2 of the standing rules of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, version 5, revision 2, read together with section 2 subsection 1 and section 28 of the powers, privileges and immunities of the Parliament and Provincial Legislature Act number 4 of 2004. Nizwile angithi bantu abadala. And we agree now that and now this is the Parliament of Gauteng, which is the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. And then I'm just going to request ukuthi we move now to introduction, as I've already introduced myself. And I'm going to request from my right honorable members to introduce themselves. And then the MEC will introduce herself and the senior officials. And lastly, Jackie will introduce our support staff. In that order, honorable members.
Thank you so much, Chair, and good morning to yourself and the honorable members. Molweni bahlali, igama lam ndinguvuyiswa wakwaGentile, enkosi Chair.
Good morning, Chair and the MEC. My name is Greg Schneeman, and I'm also a member of this committee.
Good morning, residents. Good morning, MEC. Good morning, Chair. Also welcoming our new HOD. My name is Eva Duplessis, and I'm also part of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Greetings, MEC. And then my name is Lindiwe Masilela. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, MEC. Thank you, HOD. Goeiemorgen, Dumela, Tobela. My name is Ramonda Abrahams, and I also serve on the Committee of Human Settlement. Thank you.
MEC, before I hand over to you, let me finish with the support staff checking.
Morning, Chair, morning, MEC. Morning, Chair, morning, MEC, and colleagues and stakeholders in today. My name is Jackie Muteke. I'm with the committee researcher there, Asanele, our photographer there, Mr. Rakubani, and some of our administrators. Pamela is there, Jabulo, and the rest of them all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. MEC, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good morning to yourself and members of the committee. My name is Tesni Mutara, and I am the MEC for the Department of Human Settlements. I'm joined by the HOD, Ms. Puleng Khadebe Mabaso, the CFO, Mr. Abdullah Ismail, Brandon Francis, who is our Chief Director responsible for M&E and Strategy. I don't see the other DDGs. No, okay. Okay, is the HOD, they want you to stand again. That's the HOD. Okay, she can introduce herself and the team can introduce themselves as well. Thanks.
Thank you, MEC, and the honorable members. Molweni bahlali. I'm Puleng Khadebe Mabaso, the HOD for the Department of Human Settlements. I'm with my team, CFO Abdullah Ismail. If you can stand, CFO. Thank you. Mr. Brandon Francis, responsible for strategy, M&E. Mr. Victor Chikochi, a director in the office of the HOD. I'm with Mr. Temba Nhlapo, the cluster head for the Ekurhuleni region. I'm with Mike Ngoma, the director in financial management in the department. I am with Zodwa, responsible for beneficiary admin in the Ekurhuleni region in terms of izindlu as we apply for the houses. I'm with Sis Tamara, responsible for AMA title deeds within the Ekurhuleni region and the province at large. And we are also joined by our colleagues from the Ekurhuleni region in terms of the municipality. There's 3 colleagues, if they can stand. I think the one guy has gone out. Oh, okay, or 4. Okay, the ladies here. So the 4 of them, they are from the municipality. In the Human Settlements Department, they are working with us as a department as masenzo umsebenzi wethu ezindlu sebenza nabo as abantu base municipality. So those are the 4 colleagues from the municipality. Thanks, MEC.
MEC, can you please introduce your office? Your Chief of Staff.
Thank you very much. The Chief of Staff is Mr. Sotaile Kanile. I can't see where he is. Oh, okay. The Parliamentary Liaison Officer, Mr. Shadrach Buthelezi, and the spokesperson, Ms. Terry Ann Van Eck. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC and honorable members for that introduction. MEC, I must say I'm happy that the municipality joined us today because you might find that some of the questions are directed to the municipality, and for us to tell the community that we'll still go and engage the municipality and then see, because they are also having their own houses, and they are also responsible for issuing of title deeds and so on and so forth. So really, thank you for making sure that they are also part of us. The purpose of today's meeting is basically to come to you, Bahlali, Sizoni, take us through a budget, a human settlement, so that you can know how much is budgeted and which projects are here in Ekurhuleni that are funded by the department, so that you can be able to know exactly where is the money going to, and so that you can have a proper accountability, because Tina, as the portfolio committee, we are responsible for oversight as one of our mandates, to make sure that whatever that we or the department has promised to the communities, they deliver accordingly. So having said that, Jackie, I would want you to go to the next item on the agenda. Thank you.
Morning, Chair. The next item on the agenda is the presentation by the department on the 2025 MTF budget allocation, Chair. Thank you. Okay, Chair, I'll start with the apologies. We've got an apology from Member Sirota and Member Fuchs, who are attending party matters. And we have got Member Mahlabi. I think he is on his way. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Jackie, for that. I'm going to hand over to Member Gentile to take the process from here. Thank you very much for giving me a hearing. We are sharing responsibilities, unfortunately, in this committee. It is not a one-man show, so from henceforth, you'll hear from other committee members. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chair, for the opportunity. And sanibonani futhi. Nkosi yami kuyabanda mara you can do better. Sanibonani. Ninjani. Siyaphila ngithi meeting yenu manje makungathi nina bangamandwende nenza ngathi. So thank you so much, Chair, once more, and thanks to yourselves, Bahlali, for honoring the invite yokuthi i-committee khona ukuzisa u-MEC kuni azokhona ukunicacisela kahle ukuthi what is in the budget for this financial year, and also ngoba seyishilo uchair ukuthi awapha ama projects, ama improvements nama development azobheka lana. So we'll allow yourself, MEC, but I'm worried the registration there, I think at some point, Jabulo, we must really finish, because we are now going to be dealing with the most important part of this meeting, which is the tabling of this budget. And as funa abantu bayaluzele, because bazaw Mrs. Cha, the essence of why we are here. So I'm worried that, Chair, through you, I think we may, yeah, that table for me, yeah, if you can take care of it, but also if we can also request, Chair, through you, that abahlali bangasabi ukusondela, you see there's just a whole lot of them there, such that u-MEC ne-team yakhe mabe present abakhona ukumuzwa kahle kuneyitulo ezikhona la ngaphambili. Ngiyacela nje for those that are young, because maybe abadala bazosokola, but laba bangathi bangakhona ukumuva, ngiyacela ukuthi sisondele kuneyitulo this side. If we can do that, sizokhona kahle ukuzwa, singathi besilana mara simuzwanga kahle. Nongbonge kakhulu. I think we can now start. The MEC has been already introduced and we have all been welcomed to the meeting. MEC, I'll hand over to yourself to speak through the high-level overview of the report, and maybe you can also indicate to us who will then take us through the report. Thank you so much, MEC.
Thanks very much, Member Gentile. And once again, thank you to the Portfolio Committee for allowing us to table the budget for the 2025-26 financial year. This coming from the tabling of the budget by the MEC of Finance, as well as the fiscal framework. In essence, our budget, majority of our budget comes from our conditional grants, which we get from National Human Settlements. There has been a review process on the conditional grants, and when we reflect on the budget, Chairperson and members of the committee, you will see the outer years, the informal settlement upgrade grant reducing, and that's as a result of the review by National Treasury on all the grants. So we are affected, national or human settlements is affected, especially on the informal settlement upgrade grant by reductions. Of course, if we are not augmented by provincial treasury through equitable share, we will have constraints in the upgrading of informal settlements across the province. That's what it will mean. But that review process has resulted in the decrease on the informal settlement upgrade grant in the outer years, starting from this year, which is a difference of about 300 million from last year. But our total budget is 6 billion and 61 million for this financial year. I will ask the HOD chairperson just to introduce who's going to present the budget, the presentation in detail. The presentation isn't long, but we also do reflect in detail what we have allocated to Ekurhuleni as the province, given that we are here in Ekurhuleni today. Thanks. Okay, the CFO, the CFO is going to take us through the presentation, Mr. Ismail, and as I said, Chair, we've also included detail on what we have budgeted for in Ekurhuleni from the province, noting that Ekurhuleni is a metro municipality. It has a accreditation to deliver human settlements, and they also get informal settlement upgrade grant and urban settlement development grant, or USDG, from National Human Settlements. CFO, thanks when you're ready.
Maybe before the CFO can take us through the reporting, ngiyacela bahlala ukuthi sonke sihlale phansi. Ngiyazi ukuthi kunabantu abangenayo, but because the meeting isiqalile manje makunabantu abazulayo laphayana kwenza ngathi asikho organized. So ngiyacela ukuthi sisheshe sihlale phansi sizokhona ukuqhubeka ngemeeting kahle. Ngiyabonga.
Good morning, Honourable Chair, Honourable Members, Honourable MEC, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abdullah Ismail. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for the department. I will briefly take you through the MTF budget, which is your medium-term expenditure framework. It's basically the government budget over the next 3 financial years for Gauteng human settlements. This is just the content, so we'll speak to the 4 programs that we have within the department and give you a sense. In terms of the main appropriation, which is our main budget for the 25-26 financial year, it's 6 billion 6.06 billion, and this budget decreases over the MTEF. So over the next 3 years, it drops from 6 billion to 5.5 billion. We did receive an additional 332 million in the current financial year, and that is predominantly to assist us with the interim sanitation services and security services. So for that, we actually don't use or get any conditional grant, so the province assisted us with that. Our appropriation for the current financial year is made up of 1.2 billion from the provincial equitable share, which is coming from
CFO, if you can just raise your voice and the mic, if it can be closer. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Chair. So our appropriation for the 25-26 financial year, the provincial equitable share is 1.2 billion. That's coming from provincial treasury, and 4.8 billion coming as conditional grants, which our MEC spoke about. The equitable share is also decreased on the outer years. It drops from 1.2 billion to 974 million in the 27-28 financial year. And the conditional grant also decreases from 4.8 billion to 4.5 billion over the next 3 years in terms of our final allocation letter. This is the summary of our sources of funding. The equitable share and conditional grants are the main sources of funding. What's important to note that is close to 90% of our budget is coming from the conditional grant for services. So you have your voted funds and your earmarked funds, which is your 1.2 billion that I spoke about. Most of that covers your compensation, covers your sanitation and related. And then you got your conditional grants, which is your 4 billion, as well as your 790 million from your ISUP. So you have your HSDG, Human Settlements Development Grant, and then you have your informal settlements upgrading partnership grant, which is 790 million. The conditional grants cater for the implementation of the national and provincial housing programs, while equitable share from the province is primarily used for the operational activities within the provincial department. So the total appropriated budget for 25-26 of 6 billion, over the MTEF period, this decreases right down to 5.5 billion on the 27-28 financial year. So you can see there's a decrease even further in the 26-27 year, and then 5.5 billion in the 27-28 financial year. This is economic classification, meaning where does the money go? So you have compensation for the 25-26 financial year, which is 529 million. That's to cater for all the compensation. You have goods and services for 584 million. This is mostly for your sanitation program, for your leasing of buildings, for your security services, for your operational elements. And then under transfers and subsidies, which says households, that is where your conditional grants lie. That is your HSDG and your ISUP, which is 4.8 billion for the 25-26 year. But as you can see, it decreases on the 26-27 and further in the 27-28 financial year. In terms of Program 1, which is your administration, we have 646 million, but that decreases to 579.4 million over the MTEF. That is for all administration costs, excuse me, inclusive of your compensation costs for the whole department. We have Program 2, which is your housing needs research and planning. They predominantly do all of the planning work. So when there's an open piece of land and all the planning that needs to go behind it before development, this is covered in Program 2. And then Program 3, which carries the biggest budget, that's where service delivery happens most, which is your delivery on your RDPs and related, and your ISUP program, your informal settlements, etc., etc. And then Program 4, which is housing assets and property management. As a department, we own a number of assets, number of flats and related, so we have to maintain and manage these properties while we're in the process of transferring them, and that is covered under Program 4 in housing assets. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but this is Program 1, where you have the Office of the MEC and Corporate Services. This you can see, as I explained, is the operational budget. But the budget for the program decreases from 646 million to 579 million and that's because of the provincial decrease in allocation. The current payments decreases as well from 638 million to 570 million. And then, of course, the others lines also decrease, but I did explain that. I'm not going to repeat that. Then we have Program 2, which spoke about housing needs, research and planning. As you can see, the 134 million for the 25-26 year, slight increase to 139 million in the 26-27 year, with 150 million in the 27-28 financial year. So it's mostly under current payments, mostly for compensation of employees, and of course some contractual obligations with research institutions. Program 3 is where we really do all the delivery. This decreases from 5 billion in the 25-26 year to 4.5 billion in the 27-28 financial year. And that was explained by the MEC. It's what National Treasury is doing. It's re-looking at all the conditional grants. And of course, it has impact in terms of decreasing the funding. Program 4, which I spoke about, your housing assets management and property management. Here, we're talking about the management of the flats, the related properties. This also decreases from the 25-26 year, from 228 million to 184 million, and then slightly increases in the 27-28 financial year. The objective of this one also will decrease after the MTEF, because the objective is to transfer all of these assets to the municipalities for them to take ownership and control of. This is our human settlements development grant budget for the 25-26 financial year. This is the 4 billion that I spoke about. We've broken it down. You have project management office, which is where your mega developments happen. They get the bigger chunk of 1 billion. Tshwane gets 82 million. Kuruleni region gets 745 million for its projects. Citibank gets 1 billion. The West Rand gets 238 million, and then the Joburg gets 320 million. We also allocate money to hostel redevelopment. They get 324 million. Planning section, which I spoke about, it does all the planning work. They get 190 million. And then URP, which is your urban renewal program, so your Bekkersdal, your Winterfell, they get 137 million for the work that's been there. When I say head office here, it's in relation to your operational expenditure, as well as your title deeds, as well as your NHBRC fees. They get 291 million. And then rapid land release, which is the purchase of land, only has 53 million for the current financial year. That gives us the 4.5 billion of your human settlements development grant. We have the ISUP grant, which is your informal settlement upgrade partnership grant. They have received 789 million, but you can see in the 26-27 financial year, just under 500 million is taken away from this budget. It drops from 789 to 265 and then goes up to 277. So they're really reducing the informal settlement upgrade partnership grant, and this is from, of course, National Treasury and National Human Settlements. We have a small budget for expanded public works program, which is 1.2 million for this financial year. We have made a request for additional, but this funding will be managed quickly in the second quarter of the financial year. We have brought in the Kuruleni region projects. This is just to give you a sense of the funding that is being used for these projects. So you have your Zonke Sizwe, which is your extension 1 and 2. We have a budget of 1.2 million in the current financial year, but I think that's more towards closure. We have Tina Sonke, as well as Werder Caravan Park. They receive 15 million for the current financial year, 12 million and 12 million on the outer year. So it's a running project. We have Ituatua Extension 34. They get 1.6 million for the current financial year, which is predominantly on the planning, and then 14.4 and 7.2 on the outer years. I'm assuming this is to manage the abandoned projects. We've got the extension 9 and 10, which is also based on abandoned projects. they also receive the same funding to address those issues. Then we've got Blue Gum View. They've received 2.5 million for the current financial year, but it would seem it's for closure because there's no funding on the outer years. We've got Clayville. Clayville's receiving 228 million in terms of delivery, and then 171 and then 229. So Clayville is delivering and will be delivering on numbers there. Then we have Helderwyk, Extension 8. They're receiving 145 million for the current financial year, and then 138 and 180 million in the outer years. So it's also a running and concurrent project. We've got then Chief Letuli Park Extension 6. They're currently receiving 34.9 million. So the project's ramping up with 138 million and 180 million in the outer years for the service delivery that's happening there. Rega Park, they're receiving 3 million this financial year and then 500,000. Benoni, also 3 million and then 1 million in the outer years. And then we've got John Dube. They'll be receiving 8 million for the current financial year, and then 125 and 126 in the outer financial years because that project's also ramping up. That's just the focus on the Kuruleni projects that we're presenting on. Thank you, Chair. I'll pause there for now.
Thank you so much, CFO, for taking us through the budget. Bahlali nanso ki budget yenu that has been budgeted for this financial year, but I will take questions first from the members, if there are any in relation to the budget that has been outlined to us, and I am noting hands for inputs. It could be comments or any clarity-seeking question. I'm noting hands, Member Schneemann, Member Du Plessis, Member Abrahams, in that sequence. Thank you so much.
No, thanks very much, Chair of the session, and thanks to the MEC and the team for taking us through some of the highlights in relation to the 25-26 financial year budget. I've probably got 2 or 3 quick questions I'd like to ask. The one is, and I think the MEC highlighted it as well, is that from the 26-27 financial year to 27-28, there's quite a big reduction in the informal settlement upgrading partnership fund, or partnership grant, should I say. I just want to get an understanding as to what would be the implication of this, and what does it mean for work done in formal settlements? Because I would imagine that's not the only budget for informal settlements. So if we could just get an expansion on that, what is the implication, and how does one recover from that going forward? I think that's my first question. The second one really relates, I'm just looking at the budget that was spoken about now in terms of Rega Park, Extension 9, Phase 1, and Benoni, Extension 54, Phase 1. It talks about a budget of 3 million. Maybe we could just get an understanding as to what is that 3 million about, and is that a precursor to something coming later on? Just those 2 questions. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Member Schneemann. Member Du Plessis.
Chair, thank you very much. As the department would know, we did have a meeting last night where we looked at some of these figures. So I've just got a couple of questions. Also, like Member Schneemann said, not a lot. Just for clarity, I think the main one being the reduction in monies for informal settlements. We see informal settlements shooting up all over the show, but we are not addressing it, and now monies are being cut to address that specific one. Can we get more information? And is there, like Member Schneemann said, more funding coming from other allocations? In Program 2, we see that policy got more money, but there was a cut in admin. I just want to know, is there a specific purpose for that? Are we looking at formulating new policy to speak to the problems that we currently have on the ground? I know that one of the interesting questions that was raised last night was the whole fact about how much say how much input can we give at a national level for the monies that we receive, because we know that's a huge problem, is that we've got a number of projects running currently, but we're getting less and less and less money, and that makes it very difficult to keep these projects running, and that makes, I think, the department's life very, very difficult. Then another, in program 2, another very, very contentious element at this point in time, property management. There was a decrease by nearly 41%. As you know, we visited some of those, flats, and it's in a very, very bad condition. I don't know what the department's going to do in that respect, but when it comes to the maintenance, I think we're sitting with a huge problem. We're sitting with flats that we went to see where stairs are falling apart and people can't get to the 3rd floor. That it is really, it's a health and safety risk at this point in time for the people living there. We did speak about the informal settlement, and then just also what we saw last night, and I didn't see it on this slideshow, was on the GPF, there was quite an increase in the allocation, if I could just understand what that was for. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much, Member Du Plessis. Maybe let me take this opportunity through your chair to acknowledge and welcome the councillor who's just joined us, Councillor Marius de Vos, and I hope I've not butchered your surname. Councillor it was indicated to us that the councillor is here. All right, but he is welcome and acknowledged, Chair, and I think we can move. Member Abrahams.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much to the department for the presentation presented this morning. I think we need to be realistic in saying that us as the committee, us working in the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, working with budgets, we understand the high-level presentation that was given this morning. In fact, it's not speaking to the ground. It's not addressing the needs that our community is suffering with. If we look at this country where there's access to inadequate housing and enshrined in our constitution that everybody's got a right in this constitution to have basic human rights. Number 1, which is housing. It's a concern. The past 3 years, the department has been reporting on decreasing of budgets, but informal settlements has just been increasing. By the attendance this morning, I hope the department really takes note that our people are living in pain, our people are suffering. Second of all, Chair, the impact of these budget cuts are real. And I don't think the department must come and just throw numbers around. Numbers means nothing if we speak of a Gauteng. We need to speak of Ekurhuleni and of specific areas. Your Dayton, your Reiger Park, all of those areas. And we need to look at it as the community are here this morning wanting to find out what has been the progress of the past financial year, what plans are in place for the new financial year. We're sitting with a list of over 1,000 community members that are still waiting to hear if they are accepted or approved on the title deed list. So I don't know, who are we fooling here? Because we as a committee will continue keeping the Department of Human Settlement accountable. These are human beings, MEC, and the department. It's people, it's mothers, it's fathers, it's families that are living in inhumane environments, conditions.
As we finish, Member Abrahams?
Yes, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think we must really, as we do these inputs, I know we have a role to do oversight, but also to advise the department. We must really resist a need to, speak to issues when we really have platforms to raise them. And this is not trying to limit members in terms of what we can raise, but I know that this meeting is for budget purposes, and I want us to speak to that. Where we're seeing shortfalls, we must then be able to say, we think this must be the direction, but also clarity in relation to some of the gaps that we're noticing. So we must really resist to really sound as if some of these things have not been brought to the committee and how we can advise. But be that as it may, Chair, I want to allow you to then come in.
Chair, can I just raise one question then to the department, please?
Can I allow the Chair, Member Abrahams? You will then come after the Chair.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much, Chair of the session. Actually, I thought I was not going to speak, but I saw that some of the issues were not covered. MEC, on the budget, we saw, I think, a new amount of 1.3 million in the office of the MEC. So I thought maybe because it's something new, maybe the MEC would, the department will tell us, is it for staff, is it for programs, maybe in the office of the MEC. And then on other issues I'm covered. And on the category B municipalities, an amount is just given there, but we don't see a breakdown to say each and every municipality, how much are they going to get in that breakdown. And I thought maybe, because we are facing a challenge of illegal occupation, maybe in the budget, MEC, like we have seen an increase in policy and research and so on, maybe we'll see a budget, maybe that will be talking to that. And maybe just to applaud the department, angithi angeke sithi abayenzi kahle, mabayenza kahle, we need to say they are doing good, they are doing well. We visited, I think, 2 projects last week. We were quite impressed, but it only Helderweg and Albert Lituli. You know, I was saying government is really trying. Those projects, Chief Director, you were there, they are out of this world. No wonder people are coming to Gauteng. And I was also impressed, MEC, about the security around. And it means abantu baseGuruleni, you really care about the properties that really, at the end, will be given to yourselves. Izindlu zenu. There's no vandalism. There's no. Those houses are really beautiful. For those who will be allocated for in those houses, I really want to say shout out and say, you know what, keep those houses as they are. We tried to pressure the municipality MEC to say, yes, they are nice and beautiful, but after 10 years when we come, are we still going to find them in the condition that they are in? And then the municipality was saying we're engaging the community to make sure that they keep those houses. Do you know, is it Lenkulmangas? Anigas Bon? Do you have them on the...
They should know.
Do you have them HOD or CFO just to flight them so that they can see what...
Tutuza communities in
Abantu base Tutuza bakhona? Niyayazi lezindlu engikhuluma ngazo? Helderweg. Niyazazi ne? Nisibonile izinhle kanjani?
Even Ramaphosa.
Bathi even Ramaphosa nabo abantu ba leza zindlu zinhle. Besikhuluma nomasipala ukuthi sizoyenza kanjani ukuthi we must keep them like they are. It's like, you know, it's an estate. And the way zinhle ngakhona ingathi you can keep them like that. So we're asking the municipality ukuthi you are doing landscaping, nifaka lawn and so forth. So how are you going to make boss? Maybe in Bayam will not be able to take care of it. So can't we have a communal thing that you can be able to make sure that you take care of the surroundings and the environment? Those houses are beautiful. Those who angithi izofika nakuwe.
My borrowed powers, Chair, are saying you're left with a second.
Ne? So it is out of excitement. The reason why I said that, because the MEC was not there. We really need to applaud them. Where they do good, we'll tell them, here you are doing exceptionally well. Where they don't do good, we tell them, good, try to pull up your socks. So I just wanted to convey that message, HOD and MEC. Ngicela ukuthi sishayeleni abantu baseduduza izandla nabase Ramaphosa. Hayi imani,
Asenzeni kanje. Bahlali.
Hayi ima.
Bahlali.
Imani.
Bahlali ngiyaninxusa.
Abantu
Chair.
abafike imaqala acting chair. Abantu abafike late. Ngithe kubo, this is the parliament of Gauteng. So you are not going to speak when somebody else is speaking. If you are not satisfied about something, but honestly speaking, the people of Duduza, you are going to get beautiful houses. It's not something that we can't say out loud. Ne? So if when you have an opportunity, get some questions. So I said when I started, I'm going to declare this community hall as a precinct of the legislature. Immediately after speaking and declaring, this is now the legislature. You'll have your opportunity. And I was just saying, where the department is doing good, let's applaud them. Really, we need to share because you are going to get beautiful houses. Beautiful houses. Where they are doing good, they know, the MEC knows, will say, no, you are doing good. Where you are not doing good, we want to know why. So you have your own reasons. You'll have an opportunity to say why. Ne? But mina, ngicela ukuthi sishayeleni abantu baseduduza for izinto ezinhle. Thank you very much. Back to you, Chair.
No, thanks, Chair. Indeed, when you are borrowed power, I did not say I'm not going to know too. Don't do that, Member Abraham.
I didn't ask my
Bahlali, asenzeni kanjeni. There is a program before us. When it is your time to be noted for questions, you will be given an opportunity. And kuzo indicate waguni
Acting Chair,
ukuthi manje.
Acting Chair, you acknowledge me after Chair would have spoken, then I would ask my 3 questions that I've asked.
But I did not say I'm not going to allow you. I am putting the house into order.
Thank you,
You
Acting
still
Chair.
remain in the sequence.
If I can have my questions before
Yeah,
the
but
public
before that,
have
allow me to
questions.
put
Thank
the
you.
house in order, Member Abrahams. So a process would be, there would be questions that will be posed by yourselves, Bahlali. I'm not sure why ingathi si disgruntled. In meeting yeyenu, you'll be given an opportunity. That is why we are here, and we are here with the MEC. I do not think that sizophuma pha engekho umuntu ofuna uthethe ongathethanga. So it must quite be very clear that you'll be given an opportunity, and the same way I've acknowledged yourself, Member Abrahams, I am now allowing you to come through, and then we'll close it. Member Schneemann, thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Acting Chair. My questions to the department is as follows. Before I got interrupted the first time, I would have finished asking my questions, but thank you for the platform. To the department, what is the reasons for the consistent reduction in the department's housing budgets over the past 3 financial years? What impact has the budget cuts had on the completion of existing housing projects in Ekurhuleni? What impact has the budget cuts had on the upgrading of informal settlements, as well as the issuing of title deeds to the beneficiaries? My second question, how many housing projects have been delayed, suspended, or cancelled due to insufficient budget in 2024-2025? What measures is the department putting in place to safeguard critical housing programs from the negative effects of budget reduction? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Member Abrahams. Member Schneemann?
No, thanks, Chair. I was going to raise one thing, but I want to just make a comment, and that is that I think we are dealing with the 2025-2026 budget. In the legislature, there's a process where we will receive the annual report for the 2024-2025 financial year. And when we get the annual report, that is when we're able to dig deeper into the performance of what took place in the previous financial year. So I would want to suggest, let's appeal to members in the committee, which I'm part of, let's stick to the budget that we're dealing with. The performance in the previous financial year, I'm sure we all have lots of questions about that, but we'll deal with it when we get to the annual report process. It's just a comment I wanted to make. But I think the particular point I wanted to raise, and that is that during our oversight visits, recent oversight visits, we've been informed as a committee that the National Department, and I guess provinces as well, now provide funding for the installation of a solar pack in every single house and a solar geyser. So there's a solar geyser that goes in. There's also the solar pack that we're informed of with a solar panel, and that provides with battery backup a certain amount of power that can be used to power lights, etc. And I just wanted to raise this and say that if we could just get a bit more of an expansion on that, how it's going to work. But I wanted to say I think it's a welcome development, a very welcome development, because that now, this move and this provision of the solar pack, which is a battery backup, so you can have your lights operating, charge phones, etc., I think it's going to go a long way to reducing the cost of living impact of electricity. Suddenly now we will find that in all households going forward, where houses are delivered, you now suddenly have more disposable income. And perhaps we can just get a sense as to how it's going to be rolled out continuously. And does this apply to all new houses, or does it apply to projects still underway that might not have been finished? If we just get a sense on that. But I wanted to touch on that because I think it's a very welcome development. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you so much, Member Schneemann. We'll allow the MEC and the team to respond to questions of members, and then after that, I'll then hand over to yourself, Member Duplessis, to take the questions from this side and this side. That would be after the response from the MEC. Thank you so much, and thanks, Chair, for the opportunity to chair the session.
Thanks very much, Chair, and to members for the questions. I think the reduction in the ISUPG, its implications, so it's a conditional grant. We are given percentages of what we can use the grant on. 5% is what we are allowed to use on interim services or interim sanitation. That is your commonly known as chemical toilets and honeysuckers. We provide it in the western municipalities and in the southern municipalities because the metro municipalities get their own ISUPG. But the reduction in it, so as it reduces, the 5% that we are allowed to use gets reduced because that's the overall. And it means then that either provincial treasury has got to fund the shortfall, or the municipality must take over the service because it's actually a municipal function, the provision of sanitation, etc. So with the challenge that we've had now at the beginning of the financial year, post the end of the current financial year, with not having confirmed how much of funding we have to provide interim services, that challenge is going to persist because the ISUPG is going to be dropped, and so that's just one. The other area where we can use the grant is on projects that are linked to relocation of informal settlements. So we have a project, for example, Clayville. In Ekurhuleni, we have Clayville mega project. It's linked to, a component of it is linked to relocation of informal settlements. We are then allowed to use a particular percentage from the informal settlement upgrade grant on internal services or on the development itself, because we're relocating from informal settlements. As that grant reduces, our spending ability reduces. So we had, let's say we had 200 million this year to use. next year we have 100 million. So the amount of either internal services or units that we are able to put up reduces in proportion to the amount that we are losing on the informal settlement grant. And then there's a process of upgrading the informal settlements. So those informal settlements which qualify for upgrading because they are on suitable land, they are in formalized townships, or they can go through a process of reblocking. The municipality or ourselves can put electricity, water, sanitation, and formalize it and issue title deeds. The reduction in the grant means that the pace at which we are able to do that work slows down. So where we were able to spend the 300 million, it's being reduced by 300 million. It means that the speed at which we were able to do it just reduces. And that is the overall impact on the informal settlement grant. It's meant to upgrade informal settlements, deal with relocation, and assist with, and when we deal with upgrading, there are different steps to the upgrading. So you do feasibility, you do different types of studies on the, like geotech, et cetera, you also do reblocking, and all of those in stages have got financial implications. When the grant is reduced, we are really constrained in how many informal settlements we can upgrade, or the extent to which and the speed at which we can actually do that work gets affected. So that's the impact. I think that question was asked by 3 members. It was Member Schneemann, as well as Member Du Plessis, and the member that has stepped out. She asked also what will happen, what will be the implication with the informal settlement grants being reduced. I'd like to respond to the questions on the detail on Regepak. Okay. She also asked those, but I think I can respond. So where we have planned to do work, those budgets is in the planning and development work. So it's not, it's preparation for housing. So it's project preparation. So you either have to do feasibilities or, like I said, those various studies, or designs or work that has to be done. So there is no construction of houses yet. It's the areas where we are doing engineering work or work linked to either formalization. It's work linked to being able to allow the municipality to also do its work, like bulk infrastructure, etc. That work goes a long way in formalizing the townships and allowing us to issue title deeds at a later stage. So that's the work that is being done in Regepak and Benoni, and that's why you'll see the amounts are not a lot compared, when you compare it to the funds that we've allocated elsewhere. I don't want to answer the question on the MEC's office. I'll ask the CFO to answer, because I don't want to answer about my own office. But it's a standard line item in all the departments. But I'll ask the CFO to give us the detail. I think the member asked about, do we have any cancelled or delayed projects? While I appreciate that Member Schneemann reflected that we are dealing with the current year budget, and that will probably come in when we deal with the annual report of the last financial year. I want to just say that no, we've not had any project that was cancelled because, or stopped, or delayed because of the funding. Majority of our projects are multi-year. What we do is we allocate according to the budget that we have available. So it hasn't been stopped, or it hasn't been cancelled because there hasn't been funding. What happens is we have to match the speed at which we deliver the work according to the budget that's available. So if we only have budget to build 100 houses, that's all we can build. We can't build more than that. And the quantum for the houses is predetermined, so we know from each grant how much of houses we can build upfront. I'll also ask the CFO just to explain the funding for the policy increasing over the 3 years. But I want to just explain the property management funding. So we have what is called, and all provinces have it, we have what is called a housing fund. It's properties from previous administrations, pre-94 administrations, that were transferred to now provinces. So it would either, and you spoke about the flats, for example, in Gauteng, it's the flats in Johannesburg in particular. It's the hostels, the 6 hostels in Johannesburg. The flats are in El Dorado Park, and some of them are in other areas in Johannesburg. We do have some properties in Ekurhuleni, very few. We also have some properties in Tshwane. But the directive from National Human Settlements is that provinces must close the housing fund, and that's why the reduction. What we are doing is we've worked out with the city of Joburg on the flats that we own, those that we are going to restore, because we are able to do it in the time that National Human Settlements has given us. So National Human Settlements has given us 2 years to close the fund. There are those flats we are going to do the restoration and then hand it over to the city to hand it over to owners or beneficiaries. The other flats, we are transferring the funds to City of Joburg for them to do the restoration, because it's going to take us longer than 2 years. The rest of the properties, we have to transfer them to the municipalities, and the municipalities must then transfer it to the owners. So the hostels, the same. We are doing restorative repairs now in the 6 hostels that we own, with the intention to transfer the 6 hostels to the municipality, and the municipality will then deal with either maintaining and refurbishing, or transferring or redeveloping. For hostels, it will be redevelopment. For the flats, they will transfer it to their owners. So what are the funding gaps? I think if we have to quantify the backlog, we probably need something like 800 or even more. I don't even want to say. I think the department did do a analysis on what the cost, what the funds would be for us to be able to deal with the backlog. It's more than even National Human Settlements' total budget. So it's not possible for us to deal with the backlog. And I think that even if we were to go to National Human Settlements and say to them, please give us these funds for our backlog, it's not possible. National Human Settlements doesn't have it unless they get it from National Treasury. But it means that if we're going to fund the backlog on human settlements, we'll have to take funding from education, from social development, from health, etc., because it's one funding pot, which is from National Treasury, and they transfer to all these various departments. But I think if members can follow the national budget, we can see the reduction in what has been transferred to National Human Settlements from National Treasury. So when there's that reduction, it has a snowball effect on what gets transferred to provinces. Excuse me. It has a snowball effect on what gets transferred to provinces and even municipalities. The human settlements or housing is a concurrent function. Municipalities are given, I think it's the fumes or something. I'm not sick, but it's just something. I'm really not sick. No, I'm definitely not. But I think no, you are safe. It's just the fumes or something in the air. But safe to say, human settlements or the provision of human settlements is a concurrent function. It is both national, province, and the municipalities' function. Metros have got a particular grading which allows them to do certain functions within the human settlement space, and that's why metro municipalities get conditional grants directly from National Human Settlements to the metro municipalities for this purpose.
They get informal settlement upgrade grant, like we get informal settlement upgrade grant. So the Metro must spend its informal settlement upgrade grant on informal settlements in the municipality. They get what is called the Urban Settlement Development Grant from National Human Settlements, or USDG. We get HSDG, Human Settlement Development Grant. What we are supposed to do to maximize the grants is to work and plan in a way that we complement each other. So where the Metro puts bulk infrastructure, we then, by using USDG, we use HSDG to put in internal services and top structures. But we do find that we don't align our plans as perfectly, and the Metro would also have different pressures from for different reasons. They have got ailing infrastructure, they've got to replace infrastructure where there are houses already, and we focus, as a province, we can't do anything on already houses that are already existing. We focus on building new houses. So the Metro has to balance how it uses its USDG and even the ISUPG. I think we are dealing with National Treasury on the transfers to GPF because as of now, I don't know if is it National or Provincial Treasury? National Treasury has said to us that transfers to entities will now be treated as prepayments, and prepayments has got its own audit issues. So we're working with Provincial Treasury just to be able to iron those out. So the transfers to GPF are not yet clear as to what we're going to do. I think the budget not reflecting the needs on the ground, the needs outweigh the budget that we have. And that's the reality. We've got 1.3 million people who have registered in Gauteng alone for houses. And our budget only allows us to build 8,000 houses. And the budget is a reflection of what is available in the coffers of Provincial Treasury or in the coffers of National Treasury. Provincial Treasury funds us the shortfall on our real pressing needs. So this year they have been able to fund us the shortfall on the interim sanitation because of the impact of the reduction on the ISUPG. We've lost a lot of money that we were using for interim sanitation in the western municipalities, in the southern municipalities. So for this financial year, we have got that funding from Provincial Treasury, but we have to be certain on whether Provincial Treasury will be able to fund the gaps in the outer years for the same. They are at this stage not able to augment the funding that we have on housing delivery itself. So what they are doing is just dealing with the gaps that we have on the interim sanitation, but augmenting what we are able to get for actual housing delivery. Provincial Treasury is not yet able to do that. Chair, thank you for the acknowledgement on the work that we are doing in Helderwyk and Chief Luthuli. Helderwyk is supposed to accommodate informal settlements in Ramaphosa, the Duduza, the eastern. So where it was is the eastern part of Ekurhuleni. So that's Duduza, Tsakani, and then Ramaphosa and Vilaliza, the informal settlements. And I see that we do have community members from those areas. And we have allocated people from Ramaphosa in Helderwyk. We've allocated people from Regepark in Helderwyk, etc. We have to work with the city. So the city approves the mega project. When they approve the mega project in council, they indicate the needs of that community in line with the housing code. That development will be established for the needs of XYZ communities. The same with Chief Luthuli. Chief Luthuli is also in the eastern side of Ekurhuleni. It caters for Davidton, Itwatwa, Benoni, Wattville, and surrounding wards, surrounding areas. That is Chief Luthuli.
and then the other developments the same. And then we follow a policy process in the department. The policy is 40% allocation must go to those who registered in 1996, between the periods of 1996 to 1999. 10% must go to people living with disabilities where it is available, because the specification for the house for people living with disabilities is different to the specification of the rest of the houses, which you saw at Helderwyk. And then 10% must go to military veterans, which are confirmed and approved by the Department of Military Veterans. The same. The military veteran house has got a different specification from the house for other categories. And then we have got a 10% allocation for those who are elderly, and 10% allocation for those who are living in dire circumstances. So those, we usually get referrals, for instance, from the Department of Social Development. You would find victims of GBV, etc. Special cases that the Department of Social Development works on, and to be able to either close the case or deal with the case, they then refer it to us, because it's part of our intergovernmental process. So that's how we deal with allocations. But to maintain those, especially its high rises, those residents there and the owners there actually have to establish body corporates, and there's legislation. So it's not a nice to have. Body corporates are actually law. We are working with the municipalities and to get residents to understand, what does a body corporate do? How do you establish it? How do you contribute? How do you manage it? Because the contributions are supposed to deal with things like common areas, the maintenance of common areas, the maintenance and management of security, as an example, because now the controlled access is managed by the developer. But when the developer moves away, the owners at Helderwyk must then take over. And there is a body that actually has jurisdiction over body corporates. It's a national entity. They are responsible for making sure and enforcing that establishments and developments and properties that meet the requirements for body corporates actually do register. They establish the body corporates. Body corporates are there to protect the owners of the properties in sectional titles, but also make sure that maintenance and the value of the property is maintained, especially in the areas that are common, that are not owned by any individual. Unlike if you have a standalone house, it's your house, you also own the land around the house or the yard around the house. In sectional titles, you only own the house, but you do not own the lawns, as an example, or the driveway. And that is what the body corporate must be able to manage. It's part of our beneficiary education process. We do educate, but we're going a step further to be able to assist when the housing units are completely registered with title deeds, how to register the body corporate, how to manage it, and they work with the national entity that's responsible for enforcing that legislation. I'll ask Brenham to speak on the policy, and then the CFO just to explain the offers of the MEC. Thanks.
Maybe
and then the
Category B municipalities.
category.
The allocation, because the allocation is just bulk, we don't know the breakdown.
So the allocation to municipalities is based on the state of readiness of the project, and whether, so here in the metro must fund and install the bulk infrastructure. So we are not allowed to, because of the conditions of the grant, we are not allowed to put in bulk infrastructure. So the municipality must put in the roads, the bulk water, bulk sanitation, bulk and electricity. What we are able then to do is to put the top structures and the internal services. The internal services is the connection from the bulk to the house. So from the bulk, the main line of the water or the main line of the sewer, the main line of the electricity, we then are allowed to put that infrastructure that connects from the main line to the house and the top structure, and internal services. So like you saw at Helderweg, we do the roads on the inside, we do the lawns, the pavement, the driveways, and we are doing the top structure. But we rely heavily on the metro to put in the bulk. We are not allowed to build houses where there's no bulk. For obvious reasons. You can't have a house without water, you can't have a house without electricity, you can't have a house without sewer. So we just try to align. The categorization is that categorization reflects how much money the municipality will get from national human settlements. So a lower category will get less funds, a higher category will get more funds, because the expectation is that they will do more work in the space of human settlements. So that's what the categorization is. It allows for how much of money you will get. It's almost like the division of revenue. The equitable share goes to the different categories of municipalities. So category A municipality, which is Ekurhuleni, is a metro municipality. They get larger amounts of funds from treasury in equitable share because it's a category A municipality. Category B and C will get less. It's based on all sorts of calculations, but the concurrent function, when they get more funding from national human settlements, the expectation is that the additional or increased funding from national human settlements will allow the municipality to do more work in the delivery of human settlements because it's a concurrent function. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Maybe through you, Chair, before the team comes, I've just been briefed that there are two councillors who have joined us, and I want to acknowledge them. Councillor Tsullo, who's from Ward 32, if you can greet Abahlali, Councillor.
Good morning. Well, I'm not a councillor. I'm standing in for Councillor Marias, who is away in Cape Town.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
No, you are acknowledged, and I'm also told there is Councillor Mtembu. Councillor, if you can greet Abahlali. Thank you so much, Chair, and I think we can go to the team. Thanks.
Once again, good morning. Chairperson, Honourable Chairperson, members. The question around policy and research, I think it's a very important function that falls under the administration unit that deals with policy matters and the work that we do. So we work from some standard base and not just chop and change as we go along. So the policy imperatives that we would do, for instance, MEC has mentioned that we would work like, for instance, on a policy of management of common areas, the housing allocation policy. So there are a lot of research and development work done in the compilation of these policies and also the consultation done at community workshops. The beneficiary management unit actually will engage with communities when we come up with these policies. So the cost drivers there would be arranging the workshops, writing up the research. But talking about the research and development part to that particular unit, also the work that we do with the local universities in Gauteng to assist us around the areas of housing development and implementation. So that budget area speaks to the policies that will guide the work that we do so that we adhere to the national norms and standards. And we can also be able to benchmark across the provinces as well so that we can be able to deliver the housing program to communities in Gauteng. Thank you.
Good morning once again, Chairperson, MEC, ladies and gentlemen. Briefly, the budget under the Office of the MEC caters for the compensation for the Office of the MEC in terms of staffing and related. And of course, there's a small administrative budget there under the Office of the MEC, and that relates to the MEC travelings, MINMAC, meetings and related. So it is very much a operational and admin budget, but a very small budget in comparison to the overall budget of the department. Thank you.
I think the questions have been dealt with, and I will hand over to yourself, Member Du Plessis.
Chair, thank you very much. I think we're now going to proceed, and it's not going to be only myself. I know that Member Masilela is also going to help. I'm going to... No. So what we're going to do is we're now going to, Chair, if I'm correct, we're going to move over to questions from the public. I'm going to handle this side of the hall, and Member Masilela is going to handle this side of the hall. You'll raise your hands. We'll indicate who the people are. We just want to, if I just can please ask for 3 rules. Please, when somebody is speaking, let's let them speak, and let's not interrupt or interfere. Let's try and keep it to 2 minutes. I know there's a lot of people that want to speak, but please let's try and keep it to 2 minutes if possible. Let's respect one another when we're speaking. And there was a third one which I can't remember. I'll try and remember as we go along. So yes, can I please ask anybody that, yeah, I think that was the third thing. Please, let's keep the questions relevant to housing and relevant to the budget. Okay, I know there might be some things that you want to ask that might not be directly, but please, let's try and keep it as close to the subject at hand as possible. So, okay, I'm going to ask for the people on my right-hand side to please raise their hands who wants to have a bite at the Department of Human Settlements. Thank you very much. Can I just ask who's running the microphones just to help me? Are we going to start from the back? I see at the back, I think let's, Chief. Sorry? The councillor can't ask questions, okay. So, Chair, and for you and the department, how many questions do you want us to do? Do you want us to do 3? Do we do 5 at a time? 5 at a time?
So maybe what would be the approach, such that we don't have a comeback through yourself, the chair on the session. Let's take all hands for this side. We then deal with the side and then go such that we don't have a sort of comeback. If one would have not been covered on this side and the follow-up maybe will then come from this side.
Okay, so
maybe
I can take all the hands on this side. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. We'd have all them speak. Okay, I just I think, ladies and gentlemen, just maybe one other thing that I want to ask you. Please listen to when somebody else is speaking. Let's not have 7 of the same question over and over again. If somebody has asked a question that you wanted an answer to, please say, thanks, I've been covered. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the hands on this side, and I'm going to indicate to you, and I'm going to start here from the front. Sorry, I'm going to move because I can't really see at the back. And then just give you a number, and if the people with the microphone...
Can't you ask them to follow each other?
So we've got... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Have we got it? I got 15. Did I indicate everybody? You number 8, sir. Yes. You number 7. Everybody happy? Okay, guys, with the microphones, if we can start over there, please. Oh, are we going to ask them to stand up and come this way? Okay, so guys, 15 people that... Yeah. Okay, guys, like we said, we're going to ask no longer than 2 minutes. Stick to the question, stick to the topic. Thank you very much. Let's start off with the First Lady. Thank you very much.
Good day, everyone.
Sorry, can we just ask? We ask that if somebody is speaking, please listen, and let's respect one another. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Good day to the chair and the panel, and good day to everyone at large. My question is going to be a little bit different. I need to know from the chair and the Ekurhuleni, how long does it take for a person to be approved when that person applied for a house? And another question is, how long are we still going to wait for the 96, 97, 98, 99? Because now, I'm getting old, I'm near pension, but I'm still waiting for my house. I haven't even signed the EHSS. So could please anyone tell me the true answer? How long does it take? Because children, 2000, they have houses, they have sites, but I'm still at home living at my parents' house. Thank you very much.
They must introduce themselves before they speak. Yes. Sorry?
Sorry, can I just, guys, please also just introduce yourself. Say who you are, where you're from, and so we can record that for the session, please.
Okay, guys, this is Bongile Hlema from Etembisa, Enqweni, Ward 14. Thank you.
I khuluma mama ungasaba.
Sanibonani, igama lami ngu Edna, ngibuya Ward 46. Comfortable ngokukhuluma isintu. I'm welcome. Okay. Ngibuza mina umbuzo emisi ukuthi ngino brother onabantwana wabhalisa indlu. Ngo 2000 washona. So labantwana bazohlala nathi until when? Ngoba manje banabantwana nabo, they are family. So bengicela ukwazi ukuthi on that case wenza kanjani? Ngoba bekahlala angithi wabhalisa ahamba hlala emikhukhwini eRE le ndawo zamamine la Israel. So masekashonile sifuna le phepha, this slip cycle asisiboni mara siyazi ukuthi kanjani. Masiya ehousing basitshela ukuthi ngoba washona ayiseke into yakhe. So manje ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi labantwana nabazukulu babo boyophelelaphi. Okay, labantwana siyazama ukuthi basebenze bazama ama site. Banama une site but I problem uzokwakha ngani ngoba imisebenzi ayisekho. Bengicela kule into oyisho ukuthi kune budget esenitholile. Nibazame nabanama site. Ngoba banabantwana sebaze banabantwana babantwana. Si start emajardini. Thank you very much. And kuningi. Kuningi.
Sorry, can I just get that? Sorry, so you next. You next.
Okay.
Okay, guys, just give me 1 second. Actually, can I just ask you to say that you just said to me? Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. We have the two colleagues from Ekurhuleni region, Joshua and Zodwa. They are from the beneficiary management team. For those who want to check the information and the status on the system, they can please just go to them, give them your name and your ID number. They will check the information on the system. Thanks.
So this is the two colleagues over here, guys. They're going to the side now. Want to check? Should we go to them?
Singabisa ichitha ngithi meeting. Masiphakame kahle ngoba bayi2. So sizokwenza iqueue laphayana one by one manje uphakama kumakusuka umuntu uphakame nisikhona ukuzicheka sonke. Ngicela ukuthi singachithi meeting ngokuthi siphakame sonke ngesikhathi esiyi1. Ngiyabonga.
Sanibonani ma official. Sanibonani mphakathi waseKuruleni. Lo khulumayo udladla from Etembisa Ward 14. Nginemibuzo la. Umbuzo wokuqala ubhekise ku MEC. MEC uthe kunabantu abayi 1.3 million abalinda ukuthi bathole izindlu. Manje ngifuna ukubuza MEC ukuthi labo bantu bakweyiphi category, ngoba endabeni yezindlu kunabantu abaku waiting list, bantu abane subsidy. Obvious ukhuluma ngalaba abane subsidy. Ngifuna ukwenza isiqiniseko ukuthi ushobona na kule 1.3 million mawuthi balindele ukuthola izindlu yilaba abane subsidy na. Umbuzo wokuqala. Owesi-2, i-Department Legislature isinika i-adopted petition. And i-adopted petition ibhaliwe ukuthi i-human settlement ngesikhathi esikanje loyo muntu kumele ibe im-allocatile. Kodwa kunama petitions anama 3 years, 4 years are adopted. Ebuya from the Department of Legislature. Kwenziwa yini na ukuthi that petition njoba ibhalwe ukuthi kumele i-human settlement ibe im-allocatile ngaleso sikhathi ithathe ama years ingakam-allocate. Owokuqina ethembisa sinama project ayi-3. Sine Clayville ewathi ama officials from Albertine i-project ye province. Sibe ne Besley North Extension 4. Bese siba ne project ebati Extension 25 and next door ne Tembisa Hospital. Lawa i-2 i-project esebenzayo okwamanje Tembisa iClayville. Lawa i-2 waqalwa bathi budget ayisekho wayekelwa. Manje umbuzo uthi i-budget yalama project lawa i-2 angasebenzi i-Besley North Extension 4 nalena i-Extension 25 eview iyoba nini ngoba i-population asethembisa iningi. I-Clayville is not enough for allocate ithembisa yonke. Besicela i-Department of Legislature keep i-budget yalama project futhi ayi-2. Ngiyabonga.
Sanibonani. Ninjani etafuleni? Ngiyathemba niyaphila nonke nami ngiphilile. Unonhlanhla lo okhulumayo wakathabeti Sibongo. Ngibuya from Tembisa ku Ward 14. Bengicela ukubuza. Ngabhalisa indlu from 1996. 1996 ngiseseyintombazana. Sengize ngiyaguga. Manya housing bangitshela ukuthi I'm still waiting list. Mele i-budget. How many ama-budget angidlulile ayingaki? Ayingaki ama-budget angidlulile from 1996 till now? Ayingaki? Sengize ngiyaguga ngihlala ekhaya ngidina abantu endlini. Ngidina abantu endlini. Umuntu wa-22 ngizokutshela ngeneighbor yami mina oka 2000 unendlu. Unendlu eClayville ngikhuluma manje ngayokufaka phakathi kwayo. Unendlu eClayville. Baningi futhi engabakhomba baningi bangangoboya benkomo. No. Sicela iMS isicabangeleni from 1996 till now abantwana baka 2000 bathola kanjani izindlu? Bathola kanjani sifuna ukwazi ukuthi oro kune corrupt eyenzakalayo na? Siyazi kune corrupt hayi ukuthi ngifuna ukubuza ukuthi ikhona 2000 unendlu mina what about from 1996 nginganandlu ngoba ngana 50,000 ngana 100,000 ngisogola from 1996 ngabhalisile no mabasicabange ngisayicela cela ukuthi yazi into engizisubhlungu nge-Albertine mozobhalisa bathi sicela i-ID uthi nayi i-ID ubanikeze i-ID but But who I ask is usese waiting list. Usese waiting list. Manje ngiyenze njani ke? Ngiyenze njani? But imeli budget. How many ama budget engwamele mina till now? Ngifuna bangiphendule namhlanje le ukuthi banginikeze indlu ngihlale. Ngiyacela. Sengigugile manje nginabantwana nesizukulu. Nezizukulwane ezi5 cabanga ngakanani manje mangaka. Nala bantwana sebanabantwana sipakele nendlini sibaningi. Hayi ngiyacela. Ngicela basiphendule siyafuna impendulo.
Sanibonani eholweni. Sibonga ukuvuka ekseni. Okhulumayo uSipati Katani from Ward 48 eKatlehong. Hey, sicale igroup 2021 siwumphakathi wase Ward 48 sibona ukuthi asincedakali individual. Masihamba seAlbertine it's either uzobuyiswa utshelwa ngama budget or iland. So saforma igroup sakhuluma nama MC different MEC kusase ubabulisi bamtya kwaba ubabu Thamahani kwaba babu Ngobe sewe IFP waze kwaba ubabu Thamahani futhi wabuyela back ku MEC kwaba futhi uPeterson yeza ukuthi ngicalculate ama MEC angaki alukho uncedo sulutholile yet thina imasi checka siyazela thina ku internet si check status sithi approved ezinye izindlu sithi zinama address ezinye data ziphansi kubhale like happy letter ezinye zinama address and most abogogo bahlala emchashweni akukho la singahlala ngakhona asikho isikwatha camp engahlala ngakuso and abantwana bayahlukumezeka ekwatha campini abantwana bayahlukumezeka ahethe ukuthi ngibuyele back emchashweni kuma backyard sichashile mawuya ku human settlement bakutshela ngama budget bakutshela ngama project wesquatter camp thina sichashile kuma backyard mawubuza futhi ukuthi njalo masiya lapha na ku human settlement kukhulunywa ngequatter camp what about laba bakuma backyard ngoba sichashe siyazi ukuthi equatter camp akukho legal abantu abahlele equatter camp siyazi ukuthi bahlele illegal ngoba kusetshenziswa ugesi ongabhadalwa kusetshenziswa amanzi angabhadala that's why we decided ukuthi senzeni sibuyele back kuma backyard still kuma backyard sirentile ngeimali esinganazo abantu angibahambela abogogo abantu abane disability ba rentile bagcwele la size nabo ba rentile ngeimali ze grant ekumele ngabe bayazidla abakhona ukuzidla baya renta ngazo kumali le grant imali grant kumuntu omdala 2000 something ukhipha i1.5 year rent ukhiphe ne insurance ama funeral cover basala bangana lutho siyenze i petition last year January kwabuya I memorandum ukuthi kumele ku allocate 29 masiya ngihamba sikhulumile no Jeanette Mkhalbi kusase director ulinde ethanjelwayo ngimenzela ama email aka respond kuma email wami ulinde ethanjelwayo khona manje bengiceda ngey17 zika March bengiceda ku emailela u Criselda Venter okuyi director in beneficiary director of beneficiaries administration mawuqeda ku emaila bayenzana bayamkhipha kuleyo unit mababona ukuthi khona abantu bakumele bancedakala khona manje ngikhuluma no parliamentary liaison officer obaba uButhelezi angazi ukuthi ngine picture nyana yakho baba ngikwazi ubaba uButhelezi ngikhulume naye so ngiyabonga ukuthi sila kahle bengifuna ukukhuluma no Tasmin Mutara bengamazi ngimizwa manje kuthiwa ngiyengakhuluma no Musa Mek the legislature uMusa Mek wathi uTasmin uthatha ama document wethu last year and ngifind out manje ukuthi ama document wethu wase Ward 48 asubmitwe nge28 zika November instead of August uMusa Mek makathatha ama document wethu we Ward 48 uwathatha August akazange futhi asaphendula ama answer ama calls wami mangibuyela ku Sinota ulegislature Sinota uSinota wathi no uMusa uthe ama document athathe uTasmin Mutara ngoba uthi ukhathela ama petition we human settlement we ama allocation kusho uMusa Mek no Sinota uTiani Sinota the legislature no Musa Mek angithi nabasi yes kuthiwa yibo abathatha ama document wathi so Ward 48 makuceda lana masibuza futhi ukuthi kanti nisi responda nini akusana umuntu ophendulayo and uwazi ukuthi mawenza ama email each person uspend 100 rand ngemali engekho si spend plus minus 2000 ngoku emaila singabahlali base Ward 48 beka nimangele nani manje Kodwa izinto esihlezi sitshelwa njalo ukuthi ubani bani uthatha ama-document. Bengamazi noma uThazimini ukuthi uyini u-MEC enje. Bengazi kuMayile, so ngathi ukuthi uMayile sekakhishwe ku-finance. So siyanicela siyenze ama-petition, siyenze January ne-community. Siyenze manje individual. Each person uspende boma 100 rand. Ukusubmit, uku-emaila, ukuskena i-document. A1 is 5 rand. Kabanga kubantu abangasebenzi. Asisebenzi sihleli sirentile. That's why ngithi asikho isquatter camp engahlala ngakuso. Ngize ngahlala kuso the biggest squatter camp in South Africa eMshongu. Akunala singahlala ngakhona. Sibuyele back emalokishini ngoba abantwana bayahlukumezeka isquatter campini. Siyanicela. That's why ngithi ngiyajabula ukuthi namhlanje nikhona niyasizwa. Njengoba manje uThazimini umangela ukuthi kuthiwa ama-document wethu athathwe uyo. Sitshelwe kanjalo ukuthi uThazimini uthatha ama-document wethu bewagcwele ibox. Bewagcwele ibox ama-document wethu asiwabhatale ngemali. Uyazi ukuthi umphakathi mawuqala ukuthi ngicela ningigibeze ngoba vele bayangigibeza. Sebadinekile babona ngathi ukuthi maybe ngimina ngiyabascam. Njalo and it's like siyagibela ngithi ngiyagibela ngicela ama-10 rand ukuthi at least ngigibele. Bakhathele abantu. Bakhathele abantu zamani ukuthi nenze iplan bakhathele bengilifisa lelanga ukuthi ngifuna ukuhlangana naba ama-official ukuthi kanti kwenzakala nama-ofisini mina futhi ke igama lami selilibi mangivela bathi nangu usipatweni sengathi manje mina ngihlukumeza abantu mawubuza ama-questions ngicela ukuthi nokuthi mawu-allocate kumele ukhiphe i-list ukuthi abantu laba uzoba-allocate babe bazi bamemeza ilist
asicedelele sisha ngithi let's take 1 minute and manje abantu baba impatient.
Ngiyaxolisa mphakathi.
Good morning. Morning, Chair, the NEC, and the whole committee. All protocols observed. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, I'll start by, can I go back to the committee member that couldn't wait for us to upload them for the project that happened, Health Civic, on the new project? It's okay, we are happy. But what's the surety that you're giving us that our residents, our South African will occupy that space? On the previous developments that were done by the human settlement, we want to know how sure, what's the... We just want to know what are the measures that are taken for us and the confirmation that it's only South Africans that are going to occupy that space. Because we actually, in every township, I can assure you for now and for free, every township has just over 200 people that has the RDPs that are being occupied by foreign nationals. Is the department actually willing to go back to those RDPs to take all those illegal immigrants that are occupying that space into Gutikfagwetina, Eskleli, Laesngenazin? And when we develop these new developments, they're almost like complexes and stuff, and estates, like you said. Do you guys consider building agricultural spaces? Because in our townships, we find people that are actually want to do farming, but with your developments, they actually more than anything. Do you consider farming? Do you consider sporting grounds? Do you consider, and how far are our health cares? From where we stay, you'd find the healthcare facility is over 10 kilometers, so we need to travel all the way. Yeah, I think I'll wait there for now. Thank you.
Human settlement, netafula, neholo ngokubanzi. Tungumabanga umbulele igama. Ubuye Ward 48 Katlehong. Mna ngishukumiswa kakhulu ile grant engigqibo yivo. Ndihlala eMleleko extension 4. I-extension 4 ke indawo i-private developer. Abantu bazithengela indawo kuleyo ndawo. izitandi ezazithengiswa abantu bazakhela. Sisuka kuleyo waiting list ile ka-96. Sathenga ezo zitandi sizama ukuncedisana nohulumende ukuthi sibe nendawo zokuhlala. Na until ngoku leyo ndawo yayidevelopwa leyo. Abantu sakhile kuyo. Sakhile nje i-developer yaba bankrupt. Yathi indawo ayisakwazi ukuqhubeka i-develop. Now indawo sethe siwela kumasipala sesicela ukuncediswa ukuthi umasipala aqhubeke usidevelopele indawo. Indawo yethu kuthiwa inenkinga. So xa kwanti kune grant ekuthiwa i-informal settlement uplifting grant kusho ukuthi inoba inceda abanjani le ndawo leyo mali leyo. Ngoba kaloku nathi uba kanti kukhona uncedo lunjalo. Inoba thina yiminyango le singahambi kuyo le ngowuphi lo mnyango ekumele siye kuwo ukuze sincedeke thina. Ngoba yikho indawo esingayihambanga ukusukela ngo-2002 until today. So uba mhlambi indawo yethu isendaweni erongo la kanti kune grant yephi indlela besingancedeka ngayo xa sibuza abo human settlement ukuthi kune grant ye informal settlement uplifting grant. Ngulo umbuzo wami onzima kakhulu ongishukumisile lapho ngoba kunzima ukuthi si-electrifyelwe indawo esesizidevelopele yona esasithengela. Sizama ukunciphisa ilist le yaka-96. Enkosi.
Ndicela utata sixelele into bana usuka kweyiphi ward nakweyiphi indawo MEC uyarecord. What?
Iward ngithe iward 48 Emleleke extension 4 Katlewong.
Thank you so much, Tata.
Good morning, and thanks for the opportunity. My name is Lorraine Hartnick. I am from Ward 34, Reigerpark. My two questions is basically questions of clarification. Greg, you mentioned the extension 93 million project that is they are busy with the infrastructure of it. Now my worry is we have an informal settlement, Joe Slovo, that 2016 they were supposed to do reblocking on it. Now there's a new project starting in extension 9. Then we had the Leopold development. So it seems every time that there's a new project, the old plans that were there are being abandoned. What do you say to the community of Reigerpark now that there's a new development starting, but you are unable to reblock Slovo? Then my second question would be, in 2019, there was a program that started in Reigerpark to assist the backyard dwellers. Like the previous speaker has now said, 90% of people now staying in our backyards are foreign nationals. So how are you going to prioritize now the people of the originators of Reigerpark compared to the influx of the people of foreign nationals? Because we're going to have a problem, and then they're going to accuse us of xenophobia again. Please, can you just clarify those two for me? Thank you.
Sanbonani. Good morning. Igama nguThulani Sibongo kaNgubeni. Ngihlala eThwathwa eWard 65 under uKhansela uSiyabonga Mloyi. Ngime nami lana nje hleze ngencwadi eyemibuzo kodwa ngizozama ukuthi kule ncwadi yami ngiphike hleze noma 2 yama question noma azokhona ukuaccommodate lesikhathi esiphiwe sona. Ngizothanda ukusibonga kakhulu le opportunity esinike yona ukuthi sizophawula kakhulu regarding the land issue or the informal settlement or the human settlement matters. Nayo ke my matter is one yokuqala. My first question is that ukhulume nge 50 million that is allocated for RL what is a land repeat program. That is allocated for the new development that should be developed all across Gauteng. So we have a challenge with this land repeat issue. Tina, we have a petition that was submitted from your office. That petition is DPP 194. You gave us, we came to you and request the land. Umhlaba lo ekunguthi it was officially signed by the Greater Mpumalanga and the Greater Benoni to be administered by the Greater Benoni. By then, also the bulk service infrastructure of that land, it was allocated on 1998. That land was supposed to be developed 1998, but that thing never been happened till today. So sazama ukuthatha inxaxheba thina singamabheki dwellers wala phethwathwa sibona ukuthi ama-sewage wethu soya overpool soya gcwalelana, you understand, nathi sesigcwelelene sesiviolate wona ama-act wayo le reconstruction development planning program leni sibekele yona ama-RDP. So sicela ukuthi le DPP 194 item leyo sicela ukuthi please ni consider, because of now as I speak masiza la sisendleleni ku allocate lapha yana ku bhaliswa abantu itandi, you understand, but I never hear it even la kule budget any vezela we never saw it, you understand, that ku that project there ezoyenzakala ngale kuwenzakalani kuyo, and then manje kubizwa abantu bazobhalisa izinto, and then bese sikhuluma nge 1.8 million allocated 1.8 something. I just ngihlelekudeni ukuthi bengibona nje nifake la elontuzaneni allocated for extension 9 and 10 eThwathu is not enough, because of uma check that budget, check the number of houses that should be built in those extensions. Should kuzoba maybe 15 years indlu zakhiwa, from there simela another allocation of the budget. That means abantu bazologo bahlala emikhukhwini, you understand, kusho ukuthi lokubaluleka kokuthi kumele bathole izindlu nabama RDPs namanzi right konke kube right kusazothatha isikhathi kubo. And then ngine burning issue, burning, this one is burning because of as ngilana izo truly I'm here to ask for help. I'm here to ask for help. One thing for sure, as ngimelana ngimenjonge chairperson wama backyard dwellers eThwathu, I'm representing people here there. I'm going to report back to them also. There is a burning issue. La payana sithole agreement that was signed on 1998 on the 27 August. That agreement is only us bring it to the legislature. But today, those people that were busy with that land, now they are at the back of that project that is happening there. Since a proclamation on that land, they released the excavation certificate to cancel for cancellation of agriculture to be a township developed. Because of us, silwela le ndaba ngoba kunama agreement awasayini. You understand? So when we bring this matter to municipal today, iyagazetwa manje matter is no longer accommodating us. While we have our memorandums, a lot of them that are signed by Anola Muhale. Anola Muhale, you know him from legislature. Anola, I have a lot of memorandums from 7/2020 item until to 84/2022. All they respond, Mr. Bradley Ratumbu, he knows us. Imogen Mashazi, he knows us. But nothing ababuya ngayo kithi bazokhuluma ngomhlaba loyo abafuna ukudla. When we start to speak about that land, they said, it's belonging to someone. It's belonging to someone. That land is belonging to Mpumalanga. It's belonging to Mpumalanga. But today, there is a mall there. Of which that mall, the terror plan guys, they came there to put a notice board. They note down that if anyone has any objection, he can put the objection. We objected. After the objection, they called us. They told us, guys, please, this thing we don't want it to go through the tribunal process. Please withdraw your emails, guys, so that the mall can be built. We done that, but with the agreement that once we done that, you must also agree that with us, which you understand? So they signed with us, both of us, with the Terraplan directors and the community backyard dwellers executive. We agree that, okay, once the mall start, they will build the pipe, they will install the pipes. Those pipes are the one that will accommodate the network system for sewer, for that houses. But today, it seems like us, we no longer speak with that project. Kuba ngathi azange sakhuluma ngaleyo project. Ngicela ukukhuluma nje isintu samba. Lento nje ngoba yenzakala ngakhona. Ngicela ukuthi kancane mphakathi. Ngicela nibuye kancane nibuye kithi bafethu. Si fix that matter. Please, 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 please. Agent. Thank you.
Sanibona. Usipho Maseko lona ngihlala eNigel Arla Park extension 3 Ward 88. Ngiyabonga ukuza lana namhlanje ngizobona le ndawo ngoba sengizofa sengikugile. Lapha indawo esihlala kuyo thina yaziwe eSouth Africa. Indawo esihlala kuyo yazi amabhubesi nemfene lapha ya ezulu ingqono sokunathi ngoba zidlile namhlanje iphuzile amanzi thina sinamanzi asinama toilet abafazi bethu banyele egangeni bayarejwa kodwa idemocracy iyo idemocracy esayilwela le Arla Park ngizwile kukhulunyiwe ngawo wonke amalokishi. Arla Park ayaziwa. Arla Park kuzovotwa next year. Kuzofika izikhulu zihamba ngemoto ezinamasondo angaka. Basiphathele izinkwa, basiphathele inyama kuthi sivote. Arla Park siyahlupheka nyanuka nje. Sinyele emaplastikini, sinyele emabhaketeni sochitha lapha ya. Kodwa singabantu la eSouth Africa. Siyahlupheka eSouth Africa abantu bakithi. Into engizoyicela nokuzoyisho ugovernment akakasibukelele Arla Park. Kwakhiwa asinazindlela kumanje sihamba ku Gravel Road. Sina 15 years ihlala emkhukhwini. Asina zindlela, asina gas, asina manzi, asina nix. Kodwa singabantu, kodwa siyavota, sivotelani. Into ezenziwa eArla Park kwenza ugesi emkhukhwini hafu, kwadliwa imali kwanjiwa. Itrati zakhona, itrati walibona phi lokhu inestrati esisuka la sofika esithathu.
Sorry kancane baba, sorry kancane.
Itrati engenayo.
Hello.
Babuleje umntwana, kubiza amaphoyisa.
Nkuzela baba ngicela uthi kancane ne. Because I'm the one who declared this as a precinct of the legislature. So I'm just going to ask and remind our stakeholders ukuthi we have agreed ukuthi we are not going to interrupt. And my dear friends are sitting here in the front, they are disrupting. And when you do it in front of this table, other people there at the back, they are doing it because they think it's right. We said each and every person who wants to speak will be given the opportunity to speak. Even if you can feel good lo muntu lo, what he is saying or she is saying is really exciting or whatever. Zibambeni sise parliament. Ndiyacela colleagues. Izawufika nakuni and then you will say what you want to say. Masingam interrupt because we are recording as well. As a committee, we also need to follow up and make sure that your responses, you are being responded to in all the questions that you raise. Thank you very much, Baba Ungaqala.
Itrati ezenziwe kuloya mkhukhu singasuka la itrati siyoshaya istandard tone. Azikho itrati engenayo la. Makureje umntwana sibiza amaphoyisa. Mele utraya ngala amaphoyisa isigebengu sencela ngapha. Mele yakhuphuka yokujika le futhi kodwa kuthiwa ilokishi. Amajariti enziwe kuloya mkhukhu lo amancanyanyana ukhona ukufaka imoto ufaka ibhayisikili. Kodwa sithi democracy. Siyacela kwenziwe itedium ayipheli yonke into yalapha ayipheli kusho ukuthi ugovernment yini angazi ukuthi or siyinyamazana or kanjani asaziwa thina ngiyacela i-Arla Park extension 8 e-Ot 88 sihlala lapho ake nisinakeni siyacela please.
Good day, everyone. My name is Masentle from Ward 22. We have a problem, we need a help since other people's living there, flat in Zamazama, since 1994. They did pay the rent under De Santos. And then De Santos is disappear. He didn't manage to pay the services of that flat. It was under a metro rail flat there in 14, Ward 22, Boksburg North. Since we held the meeting with Councillor 2011, Councillor said we mustn't pay anything there until we get lease agreement or we get a proof of residential like a title deed. Then there's other ladies went to Springs. Is meet other people there in Springs, and then Springs, they tell us that flat is like a RDP's flat, and then even that we have a shop on the ground, a shop there in Zamazama place. Shop is operating there, and then other owners of the shop is outside. And then as were the as were the tenants there in Zamazama, we supposed to operate that shop. I'm a South African. I have a right to get the shops, and when I leave the shop, I said more. Una le shop tse operate-wang ke ma-foreigners. Una le motho ya hlahisang o hlahisa card ya hore ke ward committee. O collecta ditjhelete from the shopong tsele tsa ko Casing Road from Indians, and then le other factory e ka site le la rona ona mo ko Zamazama in that street. They operate that factory 24 hours, even is a holiday. Grinder is making noise the whole night to that factory. And about ko huruna. Is okay, so like since by register, we went in Joburg in 2011 to register our name there to Thuli and Polo. Thuli and Polo in Joburg. They did register us. And then we can't even put us, because we were too small in that flat. It starts from number 9 until number 10. We sick and tired, and people came to us, asked the money to us to pay, the money will not pay. And as we fix ourselves.
Harriet Sechena, kinana MEC we taught the question ya how. And they will then give you the response.
And then
yeah.
bua ka di-shopo wanyana.
And happy akiri ubuwa ka dishopo. We'll note that for economic development. Really feel 1 minute. Huna li batho monana, huna li batho li mona ba batlang ho botsa botso. Usu emi monano for 7 minutes and you can retort the essence of what you are raising. Not unless you have another question, you have literally 2 seconds for you to raise it.
MMC kapo jwang kapo ha-
Ba
ha ke
teng
na
mona
right.
ba tla o responda ngwana mme.
Okay.
A re fane ka mic. Ra leboha.
Sanibonani. Lo okhulumayo ufuneka wakaGamethe. Ngibuya endaweni yaseDuduza eWard 98 eThabo Village. Ngijabulile nami ukuthi ngize ngizofika lana size sizoletha izikhalazo zethu. Sinenkinga sihlala emkhukhwini le ezamani. Asinantuthuko asinanto yaphambili. Sicela ukwenzelwa ama-toilet aflashayo. Sicela amanzi, amapipe okufakelwa amapipe wamanzi. Sinenkinga asinazitrati. Ama-ambulance awakhoni kungena siyagulelwa. Abantu bethu bayasokola kosa ukuthi umuntu ningaze nimthathe nimtatamise niyombekela lakhe emkhwanase ekliniki azazolandwa khona. Sinenkinga nje kakhulu. Ama-flat akhona. Bangenile abanye abantu kuwona ama-flat. Tina njenganami like mina sinabantwana abaningi sisele. Manina 6 yabantwana, nginomntwana ona 24, nginomntwana ona 21, nginomntwana ona 18, nginama twins ana 14, nginomntwana ona 11 years. Mangiya eflatini safika sihlale kanjani kune 2 bedroom. Manje ama-flat mahle. Siyawathanda kodwa sicela ukuba sakhelwe ama-RDP. Abanye bazoya emafletini abangaqualify ukuya khona. Abanye bakhelwa ama-RDP. Kumanje sinama-issue shem amaningi. Angeke nikwazi ngoba isikhathi sincane isikhathi esinaso. Kunabantwana namanje masisuka siza ngapha kunabantwana eJohn Dube abawele edamini. Namhlanje ukuthi bawela izolo. Namhlanje bokusabhiziwa ngabo ukuthi khishwa labo bantwana. Masisuka thina siza ngapha sishiye indaba khona isase on. Sinabantwana abazaliwe kakhulu nje banhlupha labo sibuya nabo from Marivale masizohlala nabezamani. Umama wabo chuthi washona engena ID. Labo bantwana abantante esithubeni bayehla bayenyuka abana birth certificate abakhona ukuthola ID baze bayi4. Bayahlupheka labo bantwana yazi ngiyabonga angeke ngikwazi ukwelula kakhulu enkosi ngiyabonga.
Sanibonani bazali nonke enikhona netafula. Alex Vilakazi omelana. Ngibonga ithuba engilithola kini indloka baba. Ngizoyikhalazela mayelana nesimo esihlala kuso ngiphume Ward 63 and 60 ekuthiwa izone 10. Sihlukumezeke kwaze kwandlulela. Siyehla senyuka sifuna usizo ukuthi abantu bangasizakala kanjani kodwa indlela asiyitholi. Endaweni engisuka kuyo njengoba ngisho ukuthi 63 and 60. Kune 746 weyitende. Kulezo itende kube khona i-construction phase 1 akhe only 112 houses. Kwabuya i-construction yesibili yathi 142. Kunabantu abaphumelele ukuthola amatoho bazakhela. Kunabantu abangenayo leyo nhlanhla yokukhona ukuzakhela. Abasele ngaphandle. Ngikhuluma ngomkhulu nogogo. Ekwamahlonu uma ngabe uhamba ngestrata. Umbono umkhulu umshiyile emkhukhwini. Umkhulu ushiwe ugogo emkhukhwini. bahlezi kabuhlungu. Ama-petition ekukhuluma ngawo angazi kukayingaki siwathumela. Nge-19 sithe uma sithumela ama-petition kwathiwa kuthina kukhona ama-petition athunyelwe ngo-2017, 2018. Akusekho ukuzwana endaweni yokuhlala. Kukhona abantu abasele ngaphandle. Kunabantu abaphethe ama-C-form. Kunabantu abaphethe ama-approved subsidy kwakufanele bathole indawo. Kunabantwana kwakuziyingane bahlezi emqashweni nama-approved subsidy abakwazi ukuthola indawo. Kube nabantu inani labo I think liya ko 100 if I'm not wrong. Labo bantu bebelindele ukuthi uma kukhona indawo la kwakhiwa khona izindlu ba-allocatwe. Kuthiwa kusesilahliwe labahlezi khona. Abasizakali. Asisezwana. Uma uhamba kusho ukuthi kunesite ohambela lona. Nginabo abogogo abakhona la engize nabo nomkhulu. Sinabantu aba-approvelwe 1996. Angazi kwenzakalani ngabo ngoba ba-allocatwe ey'tendini kodwa akekho noyedwa onegunya lokwakhelwa i-RDP. So angazi ukuthi umphathi wethu ku-human settlement iy'nkinga ey'fana nalezi kuthiwani ngazo. Bengizoyikhalela ngikhalele nalabo abangalitholanga ithuba lokuzoyikhalela la sibizwe khona. Ngibonga ithuba engilitholile.
Chair, through you, I've just been briefed that one of the former MPLs, Malisela Lidwaba, is with us and is acknowledged and welcomed. Thanks.
Thank you, Ngiyabonga, acting chairperson. Siza ngapha. And masiza ngapha, ngiyacela. Ngicela ukuthi ningaphindi. If you came in a form of a group, you have a representative. Ngicela ukuthi kusumeke yena azonikhulumela bonke. Ne? And then while we are still here, if inkinga zakho zifuna i-department, ngicela uye etafuleni la ngaphandle ukuthi banisize masinya. When you leave here, zebe resolve my issues. So ngizostata 1, 2. Ngicela nisukume nize ngapha nizoqueue ne. Angakakupoint. Mangakakupoint ungasukume. 1, 2, first row, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ngidlulile. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ngiphelele ku 17. And ngiyoni khatha ngo 17.
We accept written submissions.
Yeah. And then nina laba nganikhethango. Ngicela ukuthi ningabhala anything you want to write to the department. I think they will display an email or contact of a person ozonisiza. Lastly, you uvumelekile ukukhuluma ilanguage yakho. Istswana, isiZulu. Le English was shipped. It's not our mother tongue, ne? Don't be shy. Ngiyabonga.
They can give those submissions to me.
And then ama submission izowapha umam Jackie ne. Ningana nabhala masinya ukuthi manginikhatha ningafili pain. And then mina nginipha minute A1. Ngiyonikhatha ngihlale phansi ne. You can continue.
Hello? Oh, no, it's fine. Igama lami nguKhumlano kaMsimango, owaziwa ngoColin. What 32 eBoksburg.
sibingelele etafuleni nomphakathi wonke. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ama numbers esinikwa wona namhlanje ebudget awakhulumi nosizi lwethu esibhekene nale South Africa. Ayikhulumela nje ngenye indlela yawo engasiyisi phambili thina noma engasolve inkinga esinazo kuyo yonke leminyaka sithi sithathe inkululeko. I-budget yethu asazi ukuthi influence wayini ukuthi ibe nama decrease ama decrease amaningi kube nama increase anyana mbalwa asikazi ukuthi influence ayini kanjalo. So uma kune backlog, i-backlog yeminyaka mhlawumbe nathi siqala ukubhalisa ngabo 96 or whatever. Angaze ngizwe iplan yokuyisolve ukuthi i-backlog uma kuthiwa kuna 1.5 kwakhiwa izindlu ezu 8,000 and then singayitholi futhi ukuthi baplan ukusolve kanjani lonke inkinga. Usho sohlale sisenkingeni njengale asazi iminyaka emingaki. Ngathi ngeke izilungiseke. Bese phakathi issue ka human settlement sinenkinga ye corruption. Nayo futhi corruption isibuyisele emuva futhi inkinga ingasolveki whereby uma kwamasipala report ukuthi kune corruption ngezindlu human settlement uyekuthu ukhonjwe lapha Albertine wherever nakhona bengakusizi ngalutho bekubuyisele emuva kusozolokhu ukukhonjwana ngapha nangapha kungenzeki as amanye ama speculation ukuthi izindlu zihlala ama foreigner abanye banama numbers laba wathola beqala ukubhalisa lezo zindlu ihlala abanye abantu akwenzeki lutho futhi akulungiseki nje. Okwesibili okunye futhi sengivala sine issue mhlambe sibone ukuthi bingasiza but engasolveki futhi yezindlu kahulumeni ezihlala ama foreigners ayayi-owner kurentwa kuwo njengamanje. If you can go to la ngihlala khona and then uma ufuna ama rentals mostly abantu abarentisayo ama foreigners izindlu of which we know ukuthi kwakuzindlu ze-government lezo ayikhona ukuyisolve i-government esikuyo human settlement ephathelene nezinto ayenzi futhi lutho nayo ake ngithi ngibonga kwamanje.
Sanibonani bahlali. Thanda ubingelela abahlali nabo sihlalo be-human settlement. Igama nginguzweli wakasibisi. Bangibiza ngomancane. I'm from Ward 42 eRamaphosa. Bengicela ukubuza la. An Lorraine, yes nog hierso. An Lorraine ek wil vra was extension 9 in Ragepak. Jy weet nie was extension 9 in Ragepak. Ons ken nie was extension 9 in Ragepak. Ons het nie extension 9. Daai budget van extension 9 moet kom terug by ons van mense van Ragepak. Hulle moenie ons budget vat by ander mense wat ons weet nie was daai mense. Asbazi labantu labo. Asbazi labantu labo base extension 9 asiyazi. Baie dankie aan Lauren vir my antwoord was the extension 9. Number 2. Itutuza ihamba yodwa. Lezi indle kuthiwa zakhiwe eTutuza. Abantu base Ramaphosa abekho. Akukho, there is no way ukuthi kena abantu base Ramaphosa ba allocateiwe ezindlini. Sisahlala emikhukhwini eRamaphosa. Kune project lana eBoksburg, low port project. Kune phase 1, mangikhumbula ku phase 1 an Lorraine beka yi community liaison officer lapho. Kwa allocatewa lapho ku phase 1. Akukho no-one umuntu wase Ramaphosa owa allocatewa kuleyo project leyo. Kube ne phase 2 futhi. Iphelile phase 2. There is no one wase Ramaphosa o allocateiwe kuleyo project leyo. Bonke abantu aba allocateiwe kuleyo project lena abantu bangaphandle abangahlali la eRamaphosa. Kune phase 3 manje eyakhiwayo. We don't know ukuthi kena iRamaphosa izo allocatewa kuleyo project leyo. Number 3. Thina special athi ngathi thina ngithi mina guys indaba yama flat angizwisisi kahle indaba yama flat. Kwenzakaleni ngeland? Kwenzakaleni ngeland? Iland iyathengiswa. Ikhampani iconstruction mayizofika la nomasipala ahluleka ukuyibhadala. Bathi sithengisele le land le. Babathengisele le land leyo. Baceda bakhe izindlu bazithengise ngama million. Thina mabaceda bazosinikeza ibudget ye 3 million. Indle 1 bayithengisa nga 1 million. Izosenzelani thina sibangaka ibudget ye 3 million. Kube kena indle e1 bazoyithengisa nge 1 million. Umhlaba wethu bayawuthengisa. Abasinikeze lo mhlaba wethu esikhala ngawo. Number 3, land and reblocking. Kuza kanjani Department of Human Settlement izoletha i-reblocking e-squatter camp kuthiwa kuzo-reblockwa le-squatter camp lesi. Masiceda uku-reblockwa i-squatter camp kuthiwe kena le ndawo lena is not permanent. How much abaspendile uku-reblocka lapho? Because there nothing for free in South Africa, baku-reblocka imahala. Kishwa imali kubhadalwa abantu abazomuva lo mkhukhu to this phukho and kuvulwa ne-itrati zakhona ama-5 meter. Makusha umkhukhu ke na-fireflies ayikhona nokungena. Nabaceda ukuku-reblocka abakufakeli amanzi, abakufakeli i-storage. Ku-budget ye-sanitation, lama-chemical, kumele niwakhiphe lama-chemical toilet. Nisenzeleni i-storage e-right guys. Ziyanuka lezi zinto babazozidraina lana, ziyasigulisa. Nina nikaka kahle ama-toilet aflashayo, thina sikake emaloneni. It's true guys, it's true. Noma ngathi it's true lento engishoyo. uMandela wakhipha ibhakede. uMandela wakhipha ibhakede. Nina niyalibuyisa ibhakede lana. Ufuna ibhakede. Ngiyabonga. Ufuna ibhakede. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga. Ndiyanicela bahlali. Into banbana, let's stick to the questions. Because when uthatha ngento yonke, you will lose an essence in terms of the response. I think we're presented with an opportunity into banbana MEC ulapha ninethuba lokumbuza izinto directly. And some of these issues are municipal issues. Mhlambi ningangabi ne-understanding because but ndifuna into abana nisebenzise le elithuba ninalo. MEC kukho budget, kukho projects, kukho ingxaki zenu. Speak to those issues. Kwenzela into banibana angathi xa ephuma apha kube ngathi khange niphendulwe. So elixesha nilinikweyo ndicela nilisebenzise kakuhle. Let's stick to issues. Kwenzela into banibana xa siphuma apha siphume sincedekile. Ndiyabulela.
Masibonge ma'am. Sibonge na kwi legislature ukuthi izosibona emva kwe 10 years. Andizukukhuluma kakhulu mna ndinguThembile umtshintshi ndise Ward 42 kwi-VD abayibiza uba yiRamaphosa. I-Ward 42 ibroad inkulu ke. Ndinento nje nepoint nje ezintathu. Okokuqala ndizawuthetha ngeRamaphosa. eRamaphosa kunendawo ezehluke kabini. Kunendawo eseyi-well developed ifakwe izindlu ze-RDP zawuqala kuyo kuqala. MEC kunengxaki pha eRamaphosa kunezindlu ezashiyeka ukokhiwa uqala kokhiwa kwezindlu pha eRamaphosa i-RDP ngo-1998 eziyi-70. Ezo zindlu I'm sure ziyi-70. I-audit sazenza kusebenza imali kumane kuqashwa abantu benza i-audit ukuthi kucheck uba kwezo zindlu kuhlala abantu na. Ezo zindlu azikokhiwa till today. I'm sure ngoku sezide zehlile nakula 70 bezikuzo ngoba abantu bade bazokhela ngokuba bebona usizo luka government alukho. Ndibuye ndize kwindaba yama title deeds. Sinenkinga yama title deeds khona pha eRamaphosa MEC. Angaka issue kubantu bawo ama title deeds ukuthi umuntu azifile kule ndawo ahleli kuyo uba yindlu yami. Besicela thina ukuthi makuphuma apha niphume nezi ofisini ezindawo zine challenge ezinkulu nizi attende ngexesha msinyana ukwenzela abantu bazonithemba ngenye imini. Sibuye size kwindaba andizukukhuluma ngenye kwindaba yeLwebhoti. iLwebhoti sinendawo apha eRaggapark ngomakhelwane zineighbors zami eRaggapark. Usisi Lorraine akangayikhuluma bengicinga uzayikhuluma. I-budget imali kamasipala iyamoshakala kakhulu. Kune ndawo pha emva kwegarage eWard 34 eRaggapark ekwafakwa i-tar road kuwastwa imali zika-government singazi uba kuzokwenziwa ntoni kuthiwa kuzokokhelwa abantu. But loo ndawo ngoku seyimile utyani ingaka akusabonakali ka-tar road. Yawasteka imali ka-government phaya. kube ne substation ibisokhiwa apha mawuzapha eBoksburg esupplya electric khona apha kuliwe Port Moga project. I lo substation ayizange isebenze abantu bade bayivandalize. Siyacela ku government wethu owase South Africa izinto zakhe azimonithe. Niyathetha ngezibudget nizithethe ngeunits. Lifake nje project ye 6 months, after project ye 6 months inyamalale lo company bisebenza apho singava nokuba yintoni inkinga yakhona ibe imali ka government yona isebenzisile zitax zethu taxpayers zethu siyabhatala zonke izinto. Siyacela ke kwi leadership yethu engaphambili ento izilandelele. Sinenkinga phinde size kulento ye reblocking. Bengicela kulento ya reblocking make ugovernment ayenze ngendlela yayo ngoba i-reblocking manicabanga mhla sasi workshop kuthiwa ihamba ne-sanitation namanzi kufakelwa namanzi yonke into nama-chemical toilet but kuya-reblockwa nje kusunduzwa abantu indlela ufumane zigoso ezinye after that abo bantu abasaplaywa ngama-toilet abasaplaywa nganix akakwazi umuntu ukomba umgodi apha ngoba istand asifumanayo ise 10 by 10. Ilanto siyicelayo sithi ku government wethu izinto zakhe azenza makazimonithe azenze ngendlela yayo submit. Enkosi.
Siyabonga. Next. 1 minute each. 1 minute.
Mandibulise igama lami Ndungilebuwang November ndisuka eWard 63 ezone 10. Ndifuna ukuxelela uAMC or umbuzo uba thina pha eMleleki extension 1 sine approvals. Kodwa xa kufika iconstruction yokuqala yafika kuyangena kuthiwa sizokwakhela sinengxaki ye-neighbors ezingenamaphepha for uba angakhelwa ngoba bokha ezindlu ezidibeneyo. Ngoku thina aba bantu asingena zipartners zokwakhelwa ezindlu zidibeneyo uzawusenze njani na ngoba sokuze kwaphinde kwabuya enye iproject yesibini kunaleyo ngxaki enjalo ye-pairing. Umakhelwane unephepha uphakathi wenu umakhelwane akanaphepha uphakathi une-approval nalo ngapha akanaphepha. Ngoku sifuna ukwazi thina ukuthi senziwe njani ngoba okoko sasilindile kuthiwa kusayiwa ku-NHBRC ukuthi izawusenzela AP Foundation ngoba umhlaba lo esikuwo udolomite. Okoko sasilindile ke nangoku sisalindile. Enye into ke ngokuba akusikwazi ba singaxelela ibudget ayikho ngoba kaloku xa engenwa kuthiwa uyakhelwa iyaphi lo mali xa kungena iproject yokuqala kuthiwe uyakhelwa wena ongena partner wakhelwanga iphinde kunyaka olandelayo xa kufika leyo or after 5 years uphinde kuthiwa uyakhelwa. Mna wase 2960 ibudget kwakhona kuseyileya ka96 nabani lowo. Enkosi.
Siyabonga. 1 minute baba.
Molweni. Nguyolo kwaNdubane lo obuya Ward 42 eRamaphosa. Siyabonga ngomhlangano ethe sawubizelwa namhlanje. Okwami ngekukodwa cause kudala thina si-approve siphinde sidecline kwezinto zikahulumende. Besicela ngoku andisamboni ngathi MMC khona besaye khona kodwa nikhona nani. Uthethe ngeRamaphosa apha. Edibanisa neduduza andazi ba ihlangana kuphi Ramaphosa neduduza. Naku ke mina ebendizokushiya endifuna ukuthi ke sikwenzelwe. Kunale project yase Lowport bokuthiwa imega project. Okwathi makumelwa singene kungena abantu ku phase 1 kwathiwa abantu base Ramaphosa and Rache Park bazawungena ku phase 2. Phase 2 lo abangenanga futhi. Kuthiwa kuzokwenziwa uphase 3. Phase 3 andibone nakwibudget ukuthi ubudgetelwe nalo phase 3. Nansi ke into esizoyicela phaya ku phase 1 na ku phase 2 kulama flat la eLowport kungene abantu abangabelong kulama ward bokumele babe beneficiaries lapha ya. Besicela ke bahlali ngaphambili ke nihambe niyokwenza i-verification lapha ya. Ke kukhushwe aba bantu abathenga ama-flat kuba thina abantu okudala ke sabhalisa nabanye ababhalisa abangenanga phaya. So siyacela eLowport ukuthi makuhanjwe kuyokwenza i-verification before thina siyozikhiphela ababantu. Yiyo nje into esiyicelayo kini namhlanje ukuthi lapha eLowport makuhanjwe kuyokhishwa ababantu abathengile lapha ya. I submit. Morning, commanders.
Good afternoon or good morning. I'm Jerome from Alra Park. I'm Jerome from Alra Park. First of all, I want to ask the panel here, are we talking to the right people? Is it the right people that's really going to take what we are saying serious? Because over the years, we have cried and nobody, everything fall on deaf ears. I hope this time you can listen to us and fulfill our cries. Alra Park 2014 project, a failed project. Alra Park, Nigel, also not in this budget. Duduza as well was a mega project in 2014. They injected money to Induza, they injected again money into the Duduza. Now Alra Park, the marginalized community of colors, I don't know if it's because it's a colored area, that's why there's no monies for us. And it's been now for past almost 6 years, there's no monies for us. And our places has not yet been fixed. When they started the project, 5 houses was, the first 5 houses, it failed the project. Nobody talked about that. We spoke to different MMCs, they don't come to us. The sewer system has failed. Our people live in human waste. They are living human waste for 6 years. There's no electricity there for our people. Coming back to our backyard dwellers as well. Our backyard dwellers, when will you allocate our backyard dwellers? Now you have the project, you said Van Dijk place that, which is also not far from us. And we have the mega John Dube project. So how do you allocate the people? How do you allocate us? Because we as scholars, we are not in the allocation. You do not allocate our people. So we want to know what are you going to do with our project, which has been standing for years, and nobody is doing nothing, nobody is talk nothing about it. What we also did on that project, because the project itself, it was vandalized, and the people of Alra Park, what we did, we invaded places, we invaded land. And since we invaded places, we are still in the houses. And everything there, nothing is working. Municipality don't come, human settlement don't come to us. Currently, we are in the Supreme Court now. We have fought them until we reach the Supreme Court. And now since they are fighting us so much, as I'm looking at your budget that you are giving us, that budget is not enough for our people here in South Africa, not here in this Gauteng. That is why our people stays in occupied places illegally. So now with your budget, including your budget, you're still taking us to court. You're still using that same monies to fight us in court, and we are the South Africans here. So we want to know about that as well also. So please, if you can come back to us to Alra Park and come and do a site visit in Alra Park, because it's been years it's going on like this. I thank you.
Thank you.
Sanibonani bahlali. Kunontombi Zenzile lothethayo from eRamaphosa Ward 42. Ndingomnye wabantu ababhalisiza indlu ngo1997. Kodwa kunanamhlanje ndisahlala emkhukhwini. Bendisacela ubuza ngoba kuyaqhubeka kuthethwa ngo2025 2024 ibudget zangoku. Thina aba asasheke mva singazifumananga izindlu ngoba siyacheka senza yonke into kuthiwe ngapha eBoksburg uzocheka ucheke uyocheka eAlbertine siyacheka senza yonke into kodwa kunanamhlanje izindlu andikakayifumani ndandisi steering committee salapha eLeopold kodwa kwathi mhlazana kugqitywa amaflat makufanele ukuthi singene emaflatini kwathiwa iward 42 ayisekho ayizungena kulama flat kwafakwa abantu basemalawi kwathiwa basuswe endleleni. Kungene abantwana bo 2002 kodwa thina sabhalisa before 2002 abantwana bazelwe bahlala emafletini sisahleli thina emikhukhwini. Ingabe kufanele izindlu senze njani ukuze sizifumane? Silandele umthetho ngoba sikulandela umthetho. Ngoba i-corruption yona asiyazi ukuthi singayenza kanjani. Cause xa ungenamali icacile ukuthi ngeke size sizithole izindlu. Ngoba sizilinde ngokusemthethweni abantu abazifumana izindlu ngabenza corruption. Ngiyabonga.
Yebo. Ningamangali H engibambile nayo H phela. Mina ngumogeni Mathebula Ward 47 but represent Ward 47 kuphela. Mina ngine concern nje nayo umphakathi. Into engibhekile is a comment that one. Angathi I monitoring ku department ye housing njengoba usisi athi ne I functiona ngendlela right. Kimi it seems good ne I monitoring yazi zonke izinto ezikhona ayisebenzi ngendlela right. You cannot tell me good ne ubhalise indlu nge 1976 then omunye ayothola indlu. Why can't you get a system whereby uyabaza abantu bakho? Ngiyekele lapho but ngizosho ukuthi ne isystem ayisebenzi ngendlela right. So lana ngize ngento eyi1 ngizotshela ukuruleni. Mina I don't cela, I demand. Angiceli ngiyademanda whereby la ngibuya khona sinama evictions. Ama evictions lawa avelayo yila kushona abazali. That's painful. Abazali uma bashonile kungena ama state agent ayivicta abantwana. I got cases engiziphethe. Bengacela ukuthi mhlambeni omunye angibambe ngesandla njengoba ngizwa bathi kukhona abantu abancedayo ku housing lapha sizoyenza appointment whereby ngimengage ngumnike information and then kusuka lapha sisebenze uma sishayisa ibonda silishayise uma suwina ngiyabonga.
Ngiyabonga.
Sanibonani bahlali. Lo thethayo nokuthula amehlo makhulu from Delmo informal settlement ku Ward 21. Siyajabula ubukhoba ka MMC we human settlement. Delmo sine project eyaqala 2016 lapho bekuyi project yama service stand. Kuna namhlanje singabahlali sisalindile. Ayangena ama contract kuthiwe kulungiswa amanzi, ipressure yamanzi ayifiki. Ama toilet awa flush akhiwe ama toilet awa flush angena yaphuma ama contract. Namanje sisesenayo kuthiwa ilungisa amanzi. Abahlali soloko silindile sihleli emkhukhwini sisebenzisa izinyoka manje inyoka ngithetha kumanje I think indaba yase Ward 21 mawusuka from Al Road ungena ku Vet Deep Road uya airport kune strike abantu bama truck abakhona ukudlula lapho banjwe inkunzi ama truck aya demolize wakuthatha izinto ezingaphakathi. So sithi MMC singabahlali ngawukungenelele njengoba sinabantwana ezikolweni abantwana bethu banikezwe ama laptop akukho lapho ba charge khona kubhalwa ama exam kwamele sihambe sohlala kubo ma KFC nabo Petros sicharge ama laptop abantwana ukuze bakwazi ukufunda. Siyabonga.
Sanibonani. Lo Lizzy Elizabeth wakwashabangu
ophuma eThembisa eWard 14. MEC mina nginombuzo I think uyi2 phela for wena. Cause ubhalisa indlu 96 uhlale maybe 10 years ungayitholi bathi iyakuziveze uye kuziveze wenza idatabase uhlale another 10 years which is sokuyi 20 years awuyitholi kulo 20 years usuka ku C-form uya ku database usuka ku database uya ku contract na ku contract usazohlala another maybe 5 years to 10 years so kahle kahle ukuthi uallocate kuthatha isikhathi esingakanani ukuthi ungene endlini yakho and AS2 uyaya lapha uapprove so njengoba uapprove indlu yakho ihlala omunye umuntu indlu yakho mayihlala omunye umuntu mawuye housing bacheckela bathi indlu yakho ihlala omunye umuntu so mayihlala omunye umuntu ubani kumele ukuthi ayo evita lo muntu ngoba batshela wena futhi ukuthi hamba umkhipha uzomkhipha kanjani angafakwanga wuwe ubani kumele abhadale abantu bayo evita lo muntu aphume endlini yakho of which indlu yakho azange wafonelwa azange wabizwa ukuthi woza manje uallocatewa kufakwe omunye umuntu wena masowuya lapha indlu yakhe ihlala omunye umuntu umkhipha kanjani lo muntu lo yiwo nje ama question wami lawo ngiyabonga
Sambonani. Dumelang mo tafoleng. This is direct to the director and the MEC. This is specifically for you. I want to give direction on our side. I'm from Pomola Extension 21. 2023, 17 October, we had a meeting with Portfolio Committee under Chairperson Mandlovana. On that meeting, it was a lengthy discussion around Pomola, including title deeds and whatsoever. A decision was made and taken to say, when Mandlovana leaves office, she will hand over all the information of Pomola to the new chairperson and to the MEC. Up until today, we haven't received any information pertaining Pomola. So chairperson and MEC, we want to know what has actually happened on that regard, because of so far, it's almost now 2.5 years. And then I want to believe that because of now there is budget that has been allocated. And then we were also promised that because of there was no budget during that time. So perhaps maybe if we can get clarity or maybe we can have an understanding to say what has happened to our issue of Pomola from 2023. Has any been hand over given to you or whatsoever? I thank you.
Thank you.
Sanbonan. I go by the name of Ndomeleze Mfigi, the newly elected provincial deputy chairperson of Kosas Gauteng, located in Pomola, Ward 41, Extension 21. Comrade MEC, mine is going to be short and simple. I think we are rounding in one point. Mine is very simple, Comrade MEC, is that we must not stand here and lie to our parents. These people, they deserve to know the truth because of one thing. Houses are being built in Ekurhuleni, but then no one, because of one thing. We have corrupt officials who are selling those houses. So we must at all times be honest to the society, because of now we are facing a problem that in Fosloras there are houses that were built, but then people are renting there. Those houses are supposed to be given our old parents for free. We have the other side of Palm Ridge, Sky City. Those houses, they are being sold to our parents. But then those people, they know very well that the unemployment rate in South Africa is high. How do you expect an 75 or 76-year-old lady or man to buy a house of 500,000 banga savings? Because of now, we are facing an issue. Those MMCs that are being appointed in our municipalities, they are buying big cars, they are sending their children to private schools. They have beautiful houses that cost more than 1.2 million. But then the allocation of budget, when it goes to the municipalities, it doesn't go there, comrades. It goes to their own pockets. They enrich their own families with the tears and the suffering of our parents. So the only direction that Comrade MEC they must give you is one. We understand that you are still new in the office and we have confidence in you that we are going to fix this thing. But then in order to fix it, you must stop corruption by arresting these people here in Ekurhuleni. You must start here because of in Johannesburg, they have a progressive project of building houses. In Western, they have the same thing. In Tshwane, they have the same thing. In Civic, they have the same thing. But then when we come here to Ekurhuleni, we find old crooks who are stealing our parents' money for houses to enrich themselves personally. And that thing is unacceptable. So from now, Comrade Tasneem, we are asking from you, please, start a process of arresting these people. We know them. We are going to name and shame them, but then we are not going to do it in front of other people here. We are going to come to you directly, and we are going to name them. Because of now, abazali bethu bayakhala that she has a house that was approved in 76, but then kunomntana ukuthi wazalwa ngo 2002, today is owning that house. Kwenzeka kanjani? Because of the same officials that were comrades delivering our issues to are the very same ones who are failing us. So we are not going to keep quiet while abazali bethu bahlala emikhukhwini. You comrades, you live in fancy houses that cost more than 1.2 million. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Siyabonga.
D'accord.
Fight or please, discipline.
Sanibonani. Ngegama ngobongane akamsibi. Ngibuya ePhumula eWard 41. Mine is simple, Comrade Tasneem. I'm going to speak on behalf of the budget. The budget that we are going to allocate in terms of project, can you kindly do follow up? Uyobheka ukuthi lezi zinto lezi ukhipele yona imali izinto ziyenzeka because at this point in time abantu bayakhala. In order for ukuthi bathole izindlu thina abanye sinama C-form abazali bethu basinikezela ama C-form masihamba sobheka izindlu zethu basitshela ukuthi izindlu ziphumile, and one thing for sure izindlu zethu zithathwa abantu kungukuthi abangaphandle abahambi and bayazithengisa izindlu zethu. More especially la eKuruleni previous like maybe in 10 years back bekuno MMC uyabo and angeke simusho ngegama, but then laba bantu laba bathengisa izindlu na leadership. So at this point in time, can you kindly make a follow-up, ubheke, so that you can be able to have all answers, njengoba thina sireza ama frustration at this point in time. Siyacela leadership, njengoba sisho ukuthi sine confident towards wena, and we know ukuthi you are going to make sure ukuthi yonke lento le abantu bayazithola izindlu, and nabantu bayithanda ne-ANC futhi. Siyabonga.
Uya campaign. Order at the back. Comrades, please respect the session. You lobby outside.
Afternoon, leaders. My name is Carmen. I come from Reigerpark, Ward 34. I'm a deputy chair on the Housing Committee of Ward 34. Regarding the budget, as the previous, one of my colleagues was saying that there was a budget allocated for Reigerpark, which is far more less than it's supposed to be. Reigerpark allocation comes now along almost 32 years without service delivery. We have people as young as 19 years currently residing in the Leopold walk-up units. Our parents, one of my parents, I would say my grandmother, is one of those people who was defrauded out of housing, RDP housing. 94 years sitting in a flat. Reigerpark's flats was supposed to be, there was a construction going on, they were busy revamping the flats. There was millions allocated there. That money went missing. Currently, that place is raining in. We have been calling out to the municipality to come out and see. Those are those are old people, grandparents of ours sitting in the rain. Window frames just falling out. We also have an issue when it comes to the land. We know that there's a rapid land release that's supposed to be given to the people There is no communication regarding that. When it comes to council in Regenpark, we have no communication, we have no feedback regarding Regenpark allocations. They say that people has been allocated from Regenpark to certain areas, which we don't know. There's no transparency regarding that. We have no idea what's going on. All we know is that we had to put up a fight when the Leopold project started. Phase 2, I was part of that, to make sure that our people get a fair share. Our previous MMC from Eden Park assured in subsidy forms, so-called subsidy forms, because the subsidy forms that was filled in by Regenpark community disappeared. It was never submitted. So today I just want to ask, what is going to happen to our backyard dwellers? What are we considered as if we are not informal settlement? How does the Department of Human Settlement look at us? We are struggling, we are thriving, we are trying to survive. But without prior accommodation for our people, Regenpark is going to fall into the wrong hands. It's going to trash, it's becoming trash. It's escalating as it's growing by day. Over 10,000 backyard dwellers and nothing has been done to allocate one of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Molweni. Igama lami ndinguNomthandazo, ndisuka eWard 35 eDukathole. Ndinemibuzo emibini nje kuni nonke nje apha etafileni. MEC we-Human Settlement. Umbuzo wami wokuqala. Funa ukwazi ukuthi iDukathole iyoproclaimwa nini? Number 1. Because iDukathole yi-squatter camp esihlangene nama-RDP houses. Ma-RDP houses lawo angenawo ama-title deeds. Istandi ngasinye eDukathole sinama-owner awu-2 to 3. So, ndifuna ukwazi iDukathole iyoproclaimwa nini. Umbuzo wami wesibini, i-reblocking eDukathole kudala sicela 10 years ago. Sicelana ne-reblocking. Kwathiwa kunamhlaba. Sacela futhi ku-Department of Human Settlement ukuthi kunomhlaba osefaka nyawo. Sicela nihambe niyothethisana nomnikazi womhlaba wasefaka nyawo. Esawuva kwangani ukuthi ngu-Avbob ose-Cape Town. So, sifuna ukwazi ukuthi njengoba nani sithembisile ukuthi nizozama ukuthetha nabo, ni how far? I thank you.
Sanibonani. Okhulumayo uSiphamandla wakamagudulela from Ward 63 Katlehong. Nginembuzo nje emithathu. I-question yami yokuqala ithi kuna unjoba beshilo ubaba Vilakazi ethi endaweni yethu sinezindlu sinama stands awu 746. Kulo 746 sekwakhiwe izindlu eziwu259. Izindlu ezishodayo ziwu only 487. So umbuzo wami uthi department eqinisweni lilonke senidlula nje lezi zindlu eziwu487 noma kuthiwa niyahluleka senidlula izindlu ezinga reach even 500. Come on guys, again be serious bafethu. This thing is painful kithi, it's painful. Kubhlungu umhlala emkhukhwini ukuthi nina anazi ngoba nihleli kahle le nihleli khona. So ake nenze izinto ngendlela eright bafethu. Umphakathi lo sokolayo asingaphathwa ngalendlela sengathi sibuya le engaphandle. So umbuzo wami esibili uthi kunezindlu ezakhiwe 2012. Lezo zindlu even today azinawo ama-title deed. Kunezindlu ezakhiwe 2001 namhlanje zinama-title deed. How come? Izindlu ezakhiwe 2012 azinawo ama-title deed. Izindlu ezakhiwe manje 2001 zinama-title deed. Kwenzakalani la? Bafowethu ake nenzeni izinto ngendlela eright. So umbuzo wami bewubhesi nje kakhulu kuleyo nto leyo, ngiyabonga.
Please.
Greetings to everyone. Greetings to MEC and the officials. My name is Makwena Ramushu. I'm the CTW in Ward 35. I've got only 3 questions. The one is already being asked of Dukathole proclamation. I won't go to it. I just wanted to remind you, MEC, that the same duatol that I talk about is the old location that gave birth to our icon, Betha Qowa. You must note it down that she was given birth to Dugatol, but it's not proclaimed. The other issue is the issue of Piroville, which is Piroville flats and Piroville houses, that they say it belongs to Spoornet, but those people there, they are struggling to get Amalis because of our government. So I'm worried, MEC, when you come to people of Ekurhuleni, you left the MMC for Human Settlement of Ekurhuleni, so that we can point figures even to her or to him if she is him. Because we are having challenges, so seriously, you can't work and come to Ekurhuleni when Ekurhuleni is having serious challenges of informal settlement that are within the towns, west part, Boksburg and Jimiston. So the other issue is the issue of Sky City, MMC. The Sky City is invaded by young people, and we don't know how. So it's a question mark to us to say, how about those people who have wasted their time by going and register for houses, but they are not allocated? But our ages, same age of mine, they are full at Sky City. They are owning houses. We have elders that are sleeping with grandchildren in the shacks, which is very bad, especially in Dugatol, if you can go there. And then we said, MEC, please, we advise you that this portfolio of yours of human settlement, you have to establish a monitoring and evaluation committee that will work very hard so that when you build houses, they will make sure that the relevant person that are supposed to occupy those houses must be occupied those houses. That's what I will suggest from your office, because I see there's no M&E. There's no monitoring and evaluation within your office. That's why you just build houses. You don't have a process. How are you going to allocate those houses? People, they just get invaded. We have each Jimiston town. All flats in Jimiston are invaded, as we are speaking now, by foreign nationals. But there's nothing being done. If those buildings there can be renewed so that you allocate our people inside, it will be better. Because we are from 1994, it's been long now. If we can count, we say people will have better services. Thank you.
Sanwani, Tutuzile Mgomezulowa, say Ward 88, in Nigeria, Arla Park. Ngicela ukubuza, umbuzo wami na unombuzo futhi, so angazi uthatha 1 minute or 2 minutes. Sasuswa eSnake Park eMavara. Sayiswa ezindlini, safakwa ezindlini ezisemthethweni. Sanikwa ama-happy letter ukuthi kuthini izindlu zisemthethweni. So mara manje asikhona ukuthola ama-service ka-government because kuthiwa saziwa. Mara sisuswe eMavara wethu sayofakwa ezindlini ezakhiwe yini. Manje asikhona kwa even ukuthola i-dustbin. Asingenelwa ama-truck ama-dustbin because kuthiwa asaziwa. Makuvela izinto mhlambe kuthiwa naki izinto kumele nizithole, masiya bathi yabo le lamaphepha enisithethela wona asiwazi thina. Kwaba nembizo, bafika abantu sathi na amaphepha enisinike wona, still now bayamangala bawazi amaphepha. Baningi for ukuthi singahlala kulawa ma-RDP. Ngaphuma mina. Ngaphuma ngayoziluthela i-RDP. Because angisho kwafakwa abantu abayi-36 kulama RDP lawa maningi, ngaphuma ngayozithathela RDP. Angisho abantu bebazenzele bebazithathele sahlala. Sehleli lapho siyakhishwa futhi ezindlini lezi futhi eningafanga kuzo abantu. Sahlala sizothi namagama kuthiwa bizwa ngani ngama-Gag Street, asinamanzi, asinanex. Wes abazali bethu abadala bona ekudala abangenile. Still futhi nabo abanamanzi abananex. Okay, akube khona kuyi-1 enikenzayo. Skipheni thina nilungisele bona. At least and futhi nanoma futhi nikhipha thina kusho ukuthi nizosinika isiganga sifake imikhukhu. I-Arla Park ayikho under ekuruleni njengoba ingekho ku budget. Engifuna ukubuza ukuthi ikuphi sitsheleni makube futhi silahliwe sazi because engiyibonayo masiloku sign ama petition letha ama memorandum ngathi anisizwa kahle nizwa makusho itayera kuphela because kusho ukuthi masiloku mani sign letha ama memorandum nithi nizosiphendula nani into enizwayo kumele kuze kusha ama clinic futhi kusha ama police station khani nizosukuma nisizwe. Ngiyabonga ngicela nilungiselele abantu abase Arla Park eMackenzie la nisilahle khona. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga.
Mbulisa bonke.
Please, discipline.
Okay. Ngiyabulisa mononke lana community.
Please, can we keep quiet to listen to her, please?
Igama uThobeka Mhlangu, ngihlala eWard 88, ngihlala eMackenzie Extension 2. Mina angifuni ukukhuluma into eziningi mina. I only want to ask the MMC a question. I'm staying in Extension 2 Mackenzieville. It's the RDP houses that was built. The failed project. I was looking at your budget, but when I see in the budget, Alra Park Extension 2, Alra Park Nigel, the Greater Nigel, is not in your budget. I can see John Dube, Blue Gum, whatsoever from the other places are on the budget, but Alra Park are not on the budget. So MMC, I just want to know that where are we standing as Alra Park community? Because as we have meetings with the community and the MMC, we always ask our councillor to come in and to come and have meetings with us. But the councillor is throwing us under the bus. Our councillor don't even take note of us when we ask him to come and have meetings with us. Our councillor don't even come to come and look how does the area that we're staying in looking like. So the only thing I want to know from the MMC, I want the MMC to come and to come see how is the area that we are staying in how does, we don't even have electricity. We don't have, the sewage is not even right. They came and they built the houses, but there's no lights, and there's no sewage, there's no water. So the only thing that I want to know is where are we standing is the Alra Park Mackenzieville Extension 2. Because no one take us, we are not knowledge, they don't even care about us. We are South Africans, but there's no one that take notes of us as Alra Park Extension 2 in Mackenzieville. So please, MMC, can you please come out and come help us? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Handing over to you.
Thank you so much, Member Lindy. We'll allow the MEC and the team to respond to the issues that are raised. I think there are issues that are common on MEC. It could just be from one area to another, maybe to give guidance in terms of approach, but also to just where they are direct answers to some of the questions that would have been asked. And I know that there were also comments, and some of the comments speaks to other departments, but there would be an expectation that when there is a project, then other projects like your schools and other things must then follow. So let's allow you, MEC, and then you'll then guide in terms of if there are any technical issues for your team then to come through. Thanks.
Thanks, Member Gentile, and thank you to everybody who has raised their issues. Noting that I explained housing is a concurrent function. Human settlements is both implemented by the province and the municipality. The municipality gets conditional grants from national human settlements. The province also gets conditional grants from national human settlements. Because this is a metro, the work that we do in the metro is limited to how we are allowed to use the grant because the metro also gets a grant. So in the metro, we as a province do not do any work on any informal settlement because the metro gets a grant for informal settlements themselves from national human settlements. So all the questions related to reblocking, formalization, putting in electricity, whether it's high mast lights or electricity, chemical toilets, temporary toilets, all of those things in informal settlements. It is the responsibility of the metro municipality to do it because they get a grant from National Human Settlements. We do not have any mandate as a province to do any work in any informal settlement in the metro. So I'm not going to answer the questions that are saying my informal settlement, we are waiting for this, we are waiting for that, and many of them name them because it's the metro's responsibility. What we can do is follow up with the metro, with the municipality. Have they budgeted for it, the municipality, and what are the plans? And push the municipality to budget for it and to attend to those informal settlements. I hope that issue around informal settlements is answered. Then we do work in human settlements. The municipality also does work in human settlements. For the record, we are only responsible for 7 active projects in the municipality. As the province, they are the following: Chief Lutuli Extension 6, Etwatwa Extension 34, Tinasonke Extension 4, Etwatwa Extensions 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, 21, and 24. We count it as one project because it's completing lots of houses that were left incomplete. The 5th one is Clayville, 6 is Helderwyk, 7 is John Dube. Those are the 7 active projects that we are implementing as a province in Ekurhuleni. The rest of them that were mentioned, Birchley Extension 4, Sky City, Palm Ridge, those are all municipal projects. The budget for it must be budgeted by the municipality. What we can do on your behalf, which is what we do anyway, is to follow up with the municipality. How far are they? Have they budgeted for it? And then push them to budget for it. So the project that you listed, you had asked questions about, Elra Park was the municipality. Leopold is the municipality. The flats, all the flats in Ekurhuleni, whether they are flats in Recha Park, the flats in Benoni, all the flats in Ekurhuleni are owned by the city of Ekurhuleni. When you own, so what is the principle? If you own it, you have a responsibility to maintain, manage the lease, deal with repair work, all of the, if you own it. If you own it, you have a responsibility to provide security. So people raised Spoornet. Spoornet is an entity, independent state entity. They have got properties. So all of us, we have got properties. Department of Roads and Transport has got properties. Transnet has got properties. Spoornet has properties. City of Ekurhuleni has properties. Provincial government has got properties. If it's your property, you manage the lease or you sell it, you must provide security, you must maintain it, you must build it. I can't take responsibility for property I don't own. So it's like saying, Member Masilela must come and fix the house that I own. It's not possible. If there's a problem in her house that she owns, she must fix the toilet or the leaking tap, or she must cut the grass. It's her house. The same if it's my house. I can't go to somebody else's house that I don't own and fix it or tell them what to do with the property. That's the principle of property ownership. So Spoornet, if you're not getting a lease from Spoornet must provide the lease. But you may find that Spoornet does not want to lease those properties. They may have a different plan for those properties. Transnet, the same, Eskom. And what makes it complicated is that all these entities own properties in the municipality, Roads and Transport in the province owns properties. Ourselves, we own properties. Transnet owns properties. Eskom owns properties in Ekurhuleni. National departments, different national departments own properties in Ekurhuleni. So that's what complicates it. But if you own it, you have got a responsibility to manage that property. That's the law. So I can't answer for why you don't have a lease from Spoornet, unfortunately. Human Settlements builds houses. We don't lease. We build. We transfer the house to you as a homeowner. Once we've allocated you and you have been placed in the house, the municipality opens an account. We then register a title deed and then transfer the title deed to you. When you get the title deed, the house is your house. The city can't come and maintain your house. Human Settlements in the province can't maintain your house. It's your house, you have a title deed, you are responsible for the overall management of the house. Now, why I'm explaining that is that when we issue a title deed, our system, the law, all of it, doesn't allow us to issue title deeds to foreign nationals. If I've issued a title deed to you and you decide to rent it to a foreign national, it's you as the homeowner that has taken that decision to do that. There was a lady who spoke about backroom dwellers. You as an owner, you lease your backyard to backroom dwellers. You are allowed to do it, by the way. There's nothing that stops you. Us allocating people who have registered who are backyard dwellers is not going to stop new backyard dwellers, because backyard dwellings is a means of income to the person, to the main home owner. So when I allocate houses to backyard dwellers, and we don't have a separation of a backyard dweller. We don't have a category called backyard dweller. We don't have a category called, we have a category of those who qualify as beneficiaries. So how do you qualify as a beneficiary? You are South African, you are over the age of 18, you earn 3,500 rand or less. That is the qualifying criteria. You can't, the system will kick you out if you earn more than 3,500. If you are under 18, the system is going to kick you out. If you are not a South African citizen, the system will kick you out. But what we do with our property once we get it, it's our responsibility, and in many instances, even those who have been beneficiaries have been irresponsible. Renting it to foreign nationals, or you rent it out, you go back to an informal settlement, it's not allowed. But our people are doing it. That can't be government's responsibility. It's your responsibility when you get a house. What you do with your property, it's your responsibility. We can't be asked to take away a house from somebody who has rented it to a foreign national. There was a lady who spoke here of the CDW of Ward 35. Those flats that you are speaking about, they are owned by private people. If they lease it to foreign nationals, there's nothing that we can do. It's a private building. If I get 1 year lease up front in cash from and you want that money, you will take it. You will sign a lease. That is what is happening. So our work and the work that we do is restricted to the law. I can't interfere in a property that is not owned by me. I can't interfere. Once I've issued the title deed, that house is yours. The only thing that is not allowed, you are not allowed to sell that house before 8 years. But after 8 years, you can sell the house. But we discourage it because you're going to sell that house to solve a problem of today, but create a problem for 20 years where you don't have a house. So if you get a house for free, don't sell the house. Why will you sell the house? Don't sell it. Our circumstances differ. You may think that selling the house is going to solve your problem now. You'll fix the problem. You'll be able to buy a house. Buying a house is not easy. And if you have received a house once, or there's a title deed in your name, whether you received it from government, whether you bought it yourself, you will be disqualified from getting a house again. So the other qualifying criteria is that you must be a first-time homeowner. If you've owned a house somewhere in South Africa, it's not possible for you to have owned a house in KZN and register for a house in Gauteng, because it's one single system. We don't have a Gauteng system, we don't have a KZN system, Mpumalanga system, it's one system. So the title deed, when we check with the deeds register, it will tell us in 1999, there was this title deed registered in your name, the system will kick you out. So Leopold, Sky City is actually a private development. It's not a city development, it's not a municipal development, but people invaded Sky City. Invasion is illegal. Invasion is illegal. The municipality does have a court order to evict those who invaded. They have to evict those people because those houses were meant for particular people. Those houses were invaded. There is an eviction order. An eviction order is granted by the court, and the municipality must implement the eviction order. The Dukatole, so Dukatole is, the informal settlement of Dukatole is in an industrial area. Formalization of informal settlements, it's not all informal settlements that can be formalized. Only those that can be formalized because they are on land that is, so it's not on a wetland, it's not on agricultural, the land can be formalized because it is habitable by humans. It's not on a flood line, it's not on, in an industrial area, it's not zoned for business, all of those things. The department and the municipality knows the status of all its informal settlements. It doesn't mean that there's an informal settlement, it must be formalized. Those informal settlements that can't be formalized, we must relocate them to these developments where we are building, remove the informal settlement, either rehabilitate the land and all of those things, and use that land for its original intended purpose. Some land, some informal settlements, there's an informal settlement in Tembisa. It's on top of an ESCOM line. They want to energize that line. We can't formalize that informal settlement. We have to relocate those families. No informal, no settlements can be there because underneath is an ESCOM line. There are some informal settlements on gas pipes. You can't formalize those informal settlements. There was an explosion in Boksburg, close to the hospital. Those informal settlements on gas lines are a big risk. If there is a leak underground, those houses, people will explode. So you can't formalize, because formalizing means you must reblock it, you must put permanent infrastructure. You have to put water, you have to put electricity, you have to put sanitation. So where we can't formalize, because it's not on suitable land, we have to work with the municipality to move them. If there are cases of corruption, please report it. 3 weeks ago, here in Ekurhuleni, we arrested a woman in Alberton office who came to the office, who said she's collecting 40,000 rand for houses. She's not an official of the department. She is not an official from the municipality. She's not an official from National Human Settlements. But she came to our officials at Alberton She said that she collects 40,000 rand per person to make them jump the queue. There's no such a thing as jumping the queue. And she wanted help from the officials in Alberton office. That woman is now arrested. So if there's cases or claims of corruption, please take it to the authorities, open up a case. But I always repeat, don't pay anybody. You don't pay to apply for a house. You don't pay to be allocated. You don't pay. There's no payment. If you are paying, you are also helping corruption to grow and be bigger. Don't pay. Because when you pay, you are also corrupt. As much as the official or whoever else is taking the money, you giving the money, you are also corrupting the system. And it's difficult for us to address the problems if everybody is corrupting the system. So refrain from paying anybody for anything related to housing. In Ekurhuleni, we've got over 300,000 people who have registered, who qualify for houses. The number is 367,186. 367,186 who qualify and have registered for houses in Ekurhuleni alone. Of the 367,000, 89,472, so 89,472 are those who registered between 1996 and 1999. So when I started, we said our budget for this year is going to allow us to build 8,000 houses. Not 8,000 houses in Ekurhuleni, 8,000 houses in the whole province. That's the budget we have. We don't have more than that. If you earn 2,000 rand a month, you can only spend 2,000 rand a month. It's not possible for you to spend 5,000. You only have 2,000 rand a month. The money that we have, it only lets us build 8,000 houses. This 8,000 is the whole province. So in Ekurhuleni, you've got 89,000 between 1996 to 1999. It must explain and tell you how big our problem is. So 8,000 people in Gauteng will get a house. 40% of those across the province will be those who registered between 1996 and 1999. So that means about 3,200 people between 1996 and 1999 will get houses this year. The rest will be 10% military veterans, 10% people living with disabilities, 10% those who are aged, 10% who come from very extreme conditions. That's how we will deal with the 8,000. But we don't have money to build more than 8,000 houses. If we get more money, we build more. As we get more money, we'll build more houses. And when we allocate, that's how we'll allocate. There's more than 2,000 informal settlements in the province, in the whole province. More than 2,000 informal settlements. And probably while we are sitting here, there's an informal settlement that's starting somewhere. But informal settlements are unsustainable. Most of them, they are built on land which is not suitable for people to live on. When it's rainy season, they flood. When there's other sorts of problems, informal settlements, we always have our bigger problems in informal settlements. But the budget to address problems in informal settlements is going down and down and down every year because we have to build houses as opposed to keep informal settlements as they are. The last response that I want to provide is that the province, I spoke about the 7 projects that we are responsible for. And then we are dealing with 5 projects where we are assisting the municipality to deal with planning so that we could see how many houses we can build there. So we are busy with feasibility and other studies on 5 areas. The 5 areas are in our budget. We've expressed it. It's Zonke Zizwe, Tina Sonke, Regepak, Binoni, and there's one more, I think it's Itwatwa. But we have written to the municipality and given them a list of old townships. Those old townships were built in a time when the requirements by the city were different to the requirements today. People have been living in those old townships for more than 20 years, but they don't have title deeds. We have to formalize those. Formalization is a requirement of the municipality. And every municipality has got different requirements. We've written to the municipality and we've said these requirements are outstanding, but all these outstanding requirements are the mandate and responsibility of you yourself as Ekurhuleni. Please relax the requirements. If you relax the requirements, we can start the process to register the title deeds and then issue title deeds in the old townships. Most of those, they are in Itwatwa, they are in Davidton, they are in Tutuza, there's some in Tsakani. Most of them are in the far east of Ekurhuleni. I think other responses I'm not going to provide because not only I don't know the responses, but they are not related to human settlements at all. There was an issue of the shops and who is responsible, who can operate the shops. That is between the municipality and Department of Economic Development. There was an issue of a mall that was developed where there was an agreement with the municipality that if the community allows for the mall to be developed, they will come back. That is between the municipality and that community, but the development of the mall is not a human settlements function at all. Police stations, clinics, schools is not a function of human settlements. Those departments have got standards. They take population figures and to make a determination and a decision of when they will build a clinic, when they will build a school, when they will build all of those things. So maybe your clinic is 10 kilometers away. It's because the area doesn't qualify for its own clinic. If the area does qualify for its own clinic or its own school, the issue is budget. Do they have the money to build a new clinic or a new school? Clinics, schools are the responsibility of the province. Police stations are the responsibility of National Department of Police. And we don't know their plans, we don't have details of when they are going to build police stations. Remember, it's one department that must build police stations in the whole of South Africa, not just in Tembisa, the whole of South Africa. So they make a determination, they use their own standards, then they will decide which communities, when, based on budgets, will they get those. We build the houses, other departments must come and do everything else. Food gardens, all of those things that were raised. We do communicate with, for instance, Department of Agriculture in the province so that they can come and look at how they can do those support programs in the various communities. But I can't speak on their behalf. If we want food gardens, we tell them this is the areas that we are developing. Please come and look at it. They also have their own criteria. Agriculture comes, they test the soil, they will tell you this soil is not good for this type of agriculture or fruit or vegetables, we can't do it. But if you want it as communities, engage with those departments so that those departments can give you accurate responses, whether they can or they can't bring all of those support services to those when there are houses. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you so much. Through you, Chair, I just want to quickly, and thanks, MEC. I want to quickly speak to the petitioning process because I am the chairperson of the Petitions Committee at the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. One, to indicate to yourselves, Bahlali, that majority of the petitions that we are receiving are human settlements related. And this would be informed by the numbers that the MEC is speaking to and the impatience thereof. But also the realities in terms of the budget that the MEC had spoken to. But I don't think that there would ever be a report of the committee that would be instructive of the MEC to allocate people in a particular project. What we would do in a case where you are not even aware if you are allocated, you are on the waiting list or not, would get a report from the department, and from that report, if there are any, for an example, let's say there is a worst case scenario, someone who's 94 MEC in a case that, and would then say, MEC, this person is in this particular category, living in these particular conditions. We seek for your consideration in relation to, and the MEC can then use that discretion. So it must be noted that the committee is not used to instruct departments or to do things according to the thinking of the department, I mean of the committee. I raise this because we've seen over time that members of the community, they are on the waiting list, they know they are approved, but they write petitions hoping that they would then get some sort of preference, or they would then skip others who are on the line. And I think that must then not be. We encourage people to petition, but also the articulation of the reports must then speak to the real reflection of what the department gives. But I want to then meet with these petitioners who are indicating the D3PP 1 just to get a sense, but also to indicate that when we refer petitions, we refer them in bulk. The committee took a resolution because we are dealing with RDP-related petitions most of the time. That will balkanize them. Indeed, when we balkanize them, if there are 50 or there are 100 or 200, and they are from across the province, we'll give them to the MEC as a file. In as much as the Act speaks on 30 days, but the reality, if these are 200 or 300 submitted for each meeting, and the next meeting you are dealing in 30 days with around 900, and there must be individual response and a report for each and every petition. So each and every time we get reports, particularly on petitions that are not group petitions, we would then send those reports. But it must be noted that a report that says we are aware that this person is in the system, we are aware that this person is in the waiting list, we are aware that this person appears and the HSS is approved, sometimes doesn't mean that because you have petitioned, a response would be, and it's unfortunate like that the response would be, you are then going to be allocated tomorrow. But I just wanted to speak to these things and the realities that are then faced by the department in terms of the backlog and the budget challenges. But let's have a discussion maybe after this session with the petitioners who are speaking on the D3PP 194, such that I get a sense and then we can then respond accordingly. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's now 2 o'clock. We've been here since 10 o'clock. I think we've had an opportunity to hear about the budget and priorities of the department for this financial year. You've listened to committee members raising questions to the department and the responses, and we've probably had more than 30 people here also raising issues which the MEC has responded to, those issues that relate to human settlements. And when she finished, I heard a round of applause. I heard you clapping when she had finished speaking. So you heard her. So you heard the MEC and the points that she's raising. Also, my colleague here chairs the Committee on Petitions in the legislature, and I also serve on that committee. And I can assure you, we do not instruct the department to allocate houses. We don't, and we never have. It's not our job and it's not our right to do that. So I just wanted to bear what the chair of the committee has said. But there's a gentleman who raised the issue of Pomolo. And yeah, yourself, sir. Jackie, just stand up, please, Jackie. Jackie, that's the person. Please give your contact details to Jackie. I spoke to you earlier on. Give your contact details to Jackie so that she can also interact with the chair, because you've related to a meeting with the previous chair of the committee. So if you could please do that. I want to take this opportunity. Well, firstly, let me just echo something that the MEC raised as I draw this meeting now to a close. I've heard a number of people here also talking. There was a lady here who told us she'd been told to pay 50,000 rand at the Alberton regional office. So the point we're raising here, nobody is allowed to pay. Nobody can pay. No official can demand money from you to get a house allocated. Nobody can tell you, you must give me so much to get a title deed. Nobody can tell you, you must give me X amount and then I will do that. And I want to echo what the MEC has said. Don't pay that money. Don't dare do that. In fact, what you must do is go and report them immediately to the police. Because what they are doing is corrupt. It's corruption. And they're trying to extort money from you as well. So the appeal we want to make, don't get involved in illegal things. The second issue that I want to just touch on, if I may, I heard of people telling us that there are foreigners living in houses. No house gets allocated to a foreigner. No house gets allocated to a foreigner. Unless, of course, there's a corrupt activity that's gone on. Okay? And if you are aware of corrupt activities that have gone on, bring that to the attention of the office of the MEC, or bring it to the attention of the committee in the legislature, so those things can be followed up. But what people do, they get their house and they rent it out. They get their house and they sell it. And they sell it to foreigners as well. It happens. It happens. We know that. So the appeal we want to make as a portfolio committee, if you get a house, don't sell it. It's yours. It's a house that must help you going forward. Otherwise, you'll struggle later on. If you are given a title deed, don't sell it. You're not allowed to. It's your title deed. So I think that's the appeal that we want to make. I want to take this opportunity, firstly, of thanking the MEC and the officials from the department that have been here. We want to firstly express our appreciation, MEC, for having listened, for having given responses to people. We want to thank the officials that are here as well. I know that you didn't get an opportunity to necessarily reply to people's issues. I'm not taking your hand. Please put it down. I'm not taking it. We're finishing. You can just wait. Just hold on. So we want to express our appreciation to the MEC and the team that have been here. I want to just say this. I'm not going to take hands. If you have something you want to raise with the team of officials here relating to housing, you can come to them afterwards. But I'm not opening up. Once I open up, we will be here until 6 o'clock. All right? I think we've all sat here, we've all listened. So if you want to raise something else, come to the team here afterwards, and you're welcome to raise it, or with us here in the committee. But thank you, MEC. Thank you to the officials. Let me also, just hold on. Can you hold on with that? Let me also express appreciation to yourselves for having come here today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting the invitation of the Portfolio Committee to come, to listen, and to raise some of the issues that you've raised. I hope, can I ask the team from the legislature, please stop collecting things. Just wait. And I hope that you have learnt and you've gained some understanding, better understanding about the complexities of housing and some of the challenges we face as a country, lack of budget, etc. I hope it's been worth your while. So thank you for coming. I also want to thank the members of the legislature that have been here. Thank you for being here from the start. I know some have had to leave. Thank you to the sound people. Thank you to those who've been broadcasting on social media. Thank you very much to the interpreters at the back there. Thank you very much for enabling everybody to fully understand what's being discussed. And thank you to all other service providers, those who've helped with transport and helped you to get here and will help you to get back to where you are going. Can I ask that members of the committee, can I ask that members of the committee, can I ask that members of the committee remain behind, but there's some logistical arrangements around lunch, etc. Njabula, where are you? Njabula? Who's got Jackie? Who's helping us to tell us about lunch, etc., please?
Thank you so much.
Jackie?
Okay.
What are the arrangements for lunch? Can you just indicate on the microphone? So what do we do?
They must remain here.
Can I ask that we just remain seated? The MEC is going to leave. Thank you, MEC. We are waiting for the team to let us know what the arrangements are for lunch. Please just remain seated. But on that note, thank you very much, and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Ngicela singahambi nalezi zinto sizinikiwe.